the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Good evening. Fade to Black. Bespoke radio for the masses. Yeah, man, how you doing? How you doing? Today's Wednesday, July 13th, 2022. I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States. Hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black for KJCR, the Game Changer, and NX Networks. Race Hobbs. I am your host, Jimmy Church. What is cracking, everybody? Tonight, we welcome very special and one of my favoriteest people in the world. Kelly Sullivan Walden is with us to continue our Secrets Week here on Fade to Black. Tonight, it is The Secret of Dreams. Yeah, man. She's the very, very best. So stay tuned for that. She'll be with us at the bottom of the hour. Tomorrow night is another Fader night with open lines all night long. What a great week on the show. Time travel. Scott Wolter tonight. Kelly's with us. Oh, man. So cool. You know, I say this all the time. I won't do it tonight with Kelly, but I'll share this with you now. Kelly glows. She glows. She glows. She glows every time I see her. Every time I see her walking down, you know, and you just like, you see this bright ray of sunshine and you just look at when you see, right. And you see that, and you know, and it's Kelly. It's like, I don't know how she does it. Kelly glows. Kelly is with us tonight. It's going to be a great show. And a much requested show. I was getting a lot of email about Kelly and when are we going to do another dream show with her? And I just didn't realize it had been such a long time since she's been on with us. But actually, that's kind of cool because I've accumulated dreams since she was on the show with us last. And not only that, but I've got new skateboard wheels on my chair that I put on, and my chair is awesome. It just you want to just experience this, man. It's really cool. Just it goes. I wonder now that I've got skateboard wheels on my chair, right? Skateboard park. There's one across the street. Wheel this baby out there. Somebody push me into the bowl. Right? Take Hang 10 to a whole nother level. But yeah, this would work. Yeah, man. I've got skateboard wheels on the chair, like skateboard wheels. Precision bearings, the whole thing. So yeah, that sounds like a YouTube video gone wrong right there. That's TikTok. Somebody should do that. You know, the X Games or something. 500 feet in the air, big long ramp, and just down, up the right, catch some air. You know, in Vegas, jump from casino to casino in a. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you can do it on this. You can do it on this. All right. When I was a kid, this would be the first thing we would do. Out to the street, set up the ramp. Your buddy's pushing you in the chair. No helmets, no pads. Parents at work. What's that? Fender faces class action lawsuit over CMA ruling. And what's that all about? What's a CMA? Class action lawsuit follows Fender's 2 years ago. UK Competition Markets Authority at issue. Wow, I'm going to check this out. I wonder what this is about. Okay, all right. They paid above market value for guitars between 2000. Oh, come on. Really? That's what that lawsuit's about? I thought it was about something else. It's Fender. What do you expect? You're going to pay over market value for your stuff. Of course. That's the guitar market. The guitar market is gnarly. It's worse than diamonds or gold. All right, where am I at? Oh, yeah. Your parents are at work at summer vacation. You put skateboard wheels on the office chair and you go out to the street. That's what you do. I think it's a great idea. All right. I've got a few events coming up. I will get you the details on everything. I promise to do this by today, but I'll do it tomorrow. But I've got a few events coming up. Next month on Tuesday night, August 16th, I will be at UPARS here in Los Angeles in Studio City. I think we have seats for about 200. It's going to sell out. It's on its way to doing that now. So if you're in or around the Los Angeles area and you want to come out to Studio City for this event, it's going to be really cool. A lot of fun. I'll get you the information so you can make sure that you get tickets in time. It will sell out. It's just 200 seats. Okay, so that's coming up August 16th. Later on this year, I've got 4 things booked right now. 3 of them are private. I'm going to be doing a private Skywatch, which I can't talk about that because it's private, with some other people. Maybe we'll see what happens during the event. Then I've got a film shoot I'm doing in 2 weeks. That's going to be really cool. I'll keep you posted on that. And then I'm going to Egypt. And then when I come back from Egypt, I am going to be going on a cruise. And that, I believe, is in February or March. I will get all of the information to you about that. And it departs out of Los Angeles. It heads down to Mexico and then comes back to Los Angeles. And I'll get you all of that so you can come and hang out with us on the cruise. And that's going to be fantastic. So I've got that coming up and a couple of other things. So I will get everything to you probably by the end of the weekend, and I will have everything up and posted and done. Okay, I will get on a UPARS. I'll make sure that you have that information tomorrow. You can just go to upars.com. UPARS. I think that's what it is, upars.com. All right, now I've been telling everybody all week, one of the coolest things that you can do right now is get your free membership to the UNX Network. You can do that right now. Go to unxnetwork.com, click on the links below. And if you're over on YouTube, of course, we've got it up and around social media, but it's simple. unxnetwork.com, where you're going to get the monthly newsletter. You get that for free. You get access to the blogs. You get event notices. You get a free digital copy of their quarterly magazine. And I just did the time travel special on Monday night. This month's issue of UNX Magazine is all about time travel. So go get your free membership. Get your free magazines, get everything. It's totally free. Just go and do it now. Click on the link, unxnetwork.com. Also, announced this week, this is a really big deal. Eden Pure has got their BOGO special going on right now for their thunderstorm. Now, I've got a bunch of thunderstorms. I love them. I was watching some of the posts throughout social media saying, I got my thunderstorm. I can't believe how great this is. It is. It's absolutely amazing. Plug it in the wall. It's USB. It's totally quiet. Smells like the air, the fresh air after a thunderstorm. Kills germs, kills viruses. I just put one in my home gym. Got rid of the BO funk that was accumulating in there, and it was erased in about 60 minutes. I mean, completely gone. And you know what BO funk is? You can't ever get rid of that. This did it. Absolutely incredible. Okay, so get your Thunderbird. I keep saying Thunderbird. Should be called Thunderbird. Thunderstorm. BOGO. And the promo code for it right now, this is urgent. This is 1 week only. Right? So Fader BOGO, FADERBOGO is all you need. And you get buy one, get one free. You buy 5, you get 5 free. You know, right now, buy one, get one free. That's amazing. But you need one for your kitchen, for your bedroom. You need one for your car. You need one for the living room, maybe a bathroom. You know, the private bathroom that only your wife will let you use. You know, that one. You know, things like that. All right. Get your thunderstorm right now. The BOGO special is going on. The links for everything, all of our sponsors are in the description box below. They're over on our website. All the links are there. Go support the show and visit our sponsors. Now, let's get to the breaking news. Or you can follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. YJ Overlander, Canada. Just posted the office chair with skateboard wheels. Did that over on Twitter. You can too. At JChurchRadio. The sandbox is hashtag F2B on Twitter. Come and hang out with us. All right. We don't bite. All right. Big breaking news day today. Big. Because Politico is reporting that yesterday, Congress voted to create a secure government system for reporting UFOs and to compel current and former officials to reveal what they might know about the mysterious phenomena by promising to protect them from reprisal. The bipartisan, it is pork. The bipartisan amendment to the National Defense Authorization Act, passed by voice vote without debate, is part of an aggressive effort to exert more oversight over an enduring intelligence gathering challenge that has gained more attention in recent years. It was proposed by Representatives Mike Gallagher from Wisconsin and Ruben Gallego out of Arizona, one a Republican, one a Democrat, who have been among a vocal bipartisan bloc of lawmakers pressing the Pentagon and intelligence officials to take the issue more seriously. Absolutely incredible news. And all of that went down yesterday. Insanity. Now, Tesla. Texas right now is overheating. Our thoughts are with everybody in Texas, but I got to tell you, I live in Palmdale, and it was about $1.75 here today. So you just got to learn how to deal with it. But Texas is overheating, and Tesla is asking its customers in Texas to avoid charging their electric vehicles during peak times in order to prevent overtaxing the state's power grid. The alerts came as Texas grid operator, the Electric Reliability Council of Texas, or ERCOT, is calling on residents to conserve electricity during the recent heat wave, as the system is being pushed to near emergency conditions. Texas Power Grid Operator is telling big businesses right now to power down as historic sky-high temperatures descend upon the Lone Star State. Among those major operations are you ready? Crypto mining. That's right. Shut down crypto mining, which flocked to Texas for its inexpensive electricity and wide open spaces necessary for setting up crypto mining shops. The Electric Reliability Council of Texas on Monday did urge residents and businesses to conserve energy in the hottest hours of the day between 2 and 8 p.m. Crypto mining, that's 24/7, right? You don't ever power down your computers, do you? I think crypto mine should, they should be regulated. Solar power. That's it. You want a crypto mine? Solar power. Cool, Jim. I'm going on a cruise with Jimmy. Is that right? Are you going on that? Are you going on that cruise? Go Wisconsin. Oh man, Sarah Ann. Sarah Ann's cool. Do you see Sarah Ann's birthday shirt? I want one of those. All right. So I've got more news here, but so I got my Hellfire Club shirt, right? And I'm looking at it, and it's so cool, man. Stranger Things Hellfire Club, right? And I'm like, I can't wear that in public. That's a shirt you can only wear inside your home. That's it. You can't wear this in public. I don't know. Maybe a UFO convention. I don't know. But you're not wearing this to the store. No, but it's a cool shirt. Anyway, Delta Airlines in the news. Delta Airlines chartered an Airbus A330 jet carrying 1,000 delayed bags, your luggage, to deliver back to their customers. The charter flew from London to Detroit after their regularly scheduled flight was canceled. U.S. Airlines lost, damaged, or delayed about 220,000 pieces of luggage just last month. That's right. All of that, 220,000 pieces of luggage in June 2022. A 135% increase from 2021. And you got to ask what's going wrong. You got to charter a flight to carry 1,000. So where are the other 219,000 bags? That's what I want to know about that. All right. ESA back in the news. The European Space Agency announced today it has officially terminated cooperation with Russia on a mission to put a rover on Mars, with Russia's space chief furiously responding by banning cosmonauts on the ISS from using a Europe-made robotic arm. Ooh. Just intimidating. The ESA had previously suspended ties on the joint ExoMars mission, which had planned to use Russian rockets to put Europe's Rosalind Franklin rover on the red planet to drill for signs of life. But all of this because Russia decided to invade Ukraine. That's Russia's fault. ESA Director General Joseph Ashbacher tweeted yesterday that because of the war and resulting sanctions that continue to prevail, the agency would officially terminate ties with Russia on ExoMars and its landing platform. That's it. It's over. Roscosmos dude has lost his mind too. The things. Oh man. Here's the deal. And I'm just going to say it like it is. I'm at the age now, 58. I'm at the age 58 where I don't give a crap. I really don't. I don't care. I don't care about my image. I don't care if people like me. I want to, in this part of my life, I just want to do it my way, right? Regrets, I've had a few, but too few to mention. And I'm just going to do things my way. I don't care. And when it comes to Russia, nobody really wants to say this, but I will. Russia thinks people care. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. That's it. You can do or say whatever you want. Nobody's going to react. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about you. You went and invaded a country, and women and children and people are getting bombed for no reason. And now you want people to what? Nobody wants to invite you to the party anymore. And I doubt, I'm just going to say it like it is. I doubt, not in my lifetime, is Russia going to enjoy getting invited to a party. You go and you mess up, and you wait around for those invitations to come. You wait for your answering machine to have, hey, man, what are you doing Friday night? You want to come hang out with me and the guys? It ain't going to happen for a long time, if ever. That's it. It's done. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody. I mean, nobody. And that's it. That's the truth. Well, rockets to Mars, we don't need them. We'll find our own. They thought it was the other way around. Russia really thought that. They really did. They thought it was the other way around. Nobody gives a crap. All right. Don't use the robotic arm. We'll show them. Yeah. Okay. Let's get this show cracking on this day in history. Huge day in history. On this day in 1985, I remember it like it was yesterday. Glued to the TV because at Wembley Stadium in London, Prince Charles and Princess Diana officially opened Live Aid, a worldwide rock concert organized to raise money for famine relief in Africa. And it started at Wembley, continued at JFK Stadium in Philadelphia, globally linked by satellite to more than 1 billion viewers in 110 nations. That's right. 1 out of 7 people on planet Earth watched that concert with more than 75 acts, including, it was just incredible to me, Elton John, Queen, one of Queen's best performances ever, Queen, Madonna, Santana, Run DMC, Sade, Sting, Bryan Adams, The Beach Boys, Mick Jagger, David Bowie, Duran Duran, U2, The Who, Tom Petty, Neil Young, Eric Clapton, Phil Collins played drums in a reunion with Led Zeppelin. You had Black Sabbath, you had Judas Priest, you had the Pretenders, you had the Cars, you had Hall & Oates, you had Dire Straits, you had Bob Dylan. It was incredible. And I watched it all. I did. I watched everything that I could. Everything that was on my TV with that concert, I watched nonstop. It was incredible on this day in 1985. Fate or fact. Now, I want you to go and research this because unless you know, unless you were in the know, unless you knew, you didn't know. So here's your fate or fact. NASA planned to send astronauts to Mars in 1981. That's right. Mission was set using Nerva nuclear rockets. But Congress cut NASA's funding and Nixon canceled the Nerva project entirely in 1973. Now, what was Nerva? N-E-R-V-A. That was nuclear rocket engines. That was the Nerva project. And before you say to yourself, "What? That was just that was a dream. That was on paper." Oh no, the Nerva nuclear engines were done, finished, signed off on. That's it. That's it. They fired. They tested. They did everything. They did everything but put them on a rocket. But they were ready to go, and Nixon canceled it. You can go and read all about the Nerva program, N-E-R-V-A, and check out the testing and everything that went done. They built those engines and tested them from 1960 to 1972, 1973, ready to go. And the original shuttle mission, all of that, the shuttle, right? STS was the entire project that they had for the shuttle and transport tugs, they called them, to go between the Earth and the Moon and Mars. And between the Moon and Mars were the Nerva rocket engines. They had this whole thing set up and done. That was the next phase of the Moon Project. Now, if you go and watch For All Mankind, which is on Apple TV, watch both seasons. I think it's episode 6, episode 7 right now in season 2. It's all about the Nerva Project and going to Mars. Think about that. It's incredible. So go read about the Nerva nuclear engines. It's an incredible project and what was set up, and it was ready to go, but got canceled by President Nixon. All right. Tonight, we welcome very special guest, Kelly Sullivan Walden. She's with us for the Secrets of Dreams. And tomorrow night, it's going to be open lines all night long. It is Fader night. And right now, I'm going to hit this River Moon coffee. And I want to say this. That's what I want to say. Rivermoonwellness.com, Fade to Black blend, best coffee in the world. It is, oh man, one more time. Tonight we're going to discuss dreams. And I have, through Kelly's excellent work and some of my own research, I've started to make comments lately over the last few months about what dreams may be and what I think that they are. And I'm starting to think that dreams don't involve time, in that time as we know it, because there's something strange that goes on. And it's this. It seems that, you can have months, weeks worth of dreams in just a few hours, and it doesn't make any sense. And so how is that possible? Are we accessing with dreams? Is it just another dimension? Is it just another reality? And I'm starting to think that this may be the case. Lots of research into dreams, lots. And Kelly is one of the best. We're going to be talking all of that tonight here on Fade to Black. She's going to be with us right after this short break. I am your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer and UnX Networks. Race Hobbs. This is Fade to Black, and I'll be right back with Kelly Sullivan Walden right after this short break. I do want to remind everybody, tomorrow night is Fader night with open lines all night long. Stay with me. We'll be right back after this short break. This is Fade to Black.
This is Nicole Church, daughter of you-know-who, and you're listening to Fade to Black on JimmyChurchRadio.com and the Game Changer Network.
You're listening to Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the X.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net.
When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black Blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today.
This is the only way forward.
This is Fade to Black. Make contact.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can get our podcast for just $2 per month. All you have to do is click on the podcast banner over at jimmychurchradio.com. Right now, Eden Pure is having their famous BOGO deal on thunderstorm air purifiers. One listener wrote, "It makes a huge difference in our cat litter box stink. I just wish I waited for the BOGO deal. I need another one." Well, now's the time. BOGO is back, so when you buy one thunderstorm, you get one free. No matter how many you buy 2, you get 2 free. You buy 5, you get 5 free. The thunderstorm will completely eliminate any odor, even the worst like pets, cigarette smoke, urine, and cooking. Now is the time to order. Eden Pure's buy one, get one free sale is 1 week only. With over 265,000 thunderstorms sold and countless 5-star reviews, you know it works. People are buying several for around the home and even as gifts. Just go to EdenPureDeals.com and use discount code FADERBOGO. That's FADERBOGO, FADERBOGO. BOGO is buy one, get one free. That's EdenPureDeals.com, discount code FADERBOGO. And as always, shipping is free.
Do you have an interest in the paranormal? Then you'll love the UnXNetwork.com. The X is your streaming audio and video for everything supernatural, strange, and mysterious, like UFOs, Bigfoot, ghosts, and so much more. From hosts like Jimmy Church, Whitley Strieber, Micah Hanks, and Christina Gomez. Visit the UnXNetwork.com show page for a complete list of all the paranormal programs you'll find on the X. Be sure to follow us on Twitter for updates at KUNXDB. Follow our Facebook group, UnX Network. Find the podcast on Spotify, iHeart, Audible, and Apple Podcast. It's time.
It's new.
It's the X.
Right now, the world couldn't be more chaotic. History shows us what gold does when the world goes crazy. It goes up in value. Right now, we're in unprecedented times. The pandemic, the war in Ukraine, the devaluation of the U.S. dollar. Gold and other precious metals are a defense measure against the hyperinflation that's happening right now. So, what can you do to protect yourself? Call my friend Alan Johnson at United Gold Group. He's dedicated to helping people secure their retirement income. He'll help you with gold, with silver, and other precious metals, and show you how to set up your own self-directed IRA. Safe and secure, United Gold Group makes gold ownership easy and affordable. There couldn't be a better time, so call now and get a silver American Eagle proof set with a qualified IRA. Call 800-753-8534. That's 800-753-8534 or visit UnitedGoldGroup.com. Reach out to my friend, Alan Johnson.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Manson. You're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, one of my favoriteest people in the world, Kelly Sullivan Walden, is with us. Full night of The Secrets of Dreams. She's an inspirational, I was going to say international, but that kind of applies too. She's an inspirational speaker, workshop facilitator, and founder of Dream Life Coach Training. an online training program that empowers people to develop dream mastery. And the host of Ask Dr. Dream on Unity Online Radio as a certified clinical hypnotherapist whose unique approach to dream therapy led Kelly to become a trusted advisor, coach, and consultant to so many. A bridge from the physical to the metaphysical for over 20 years, Kelly synthesizes multiple psychological and spiritual systems into my holistic way of coaching that supports people in living their hero's dream journey on a mind, body, spirit, and soul level. I said mine. I meant to say her, but it applies to me too. Now, we've just posted up in the chat room and around social media her website, of course, which is absolutely amazing, KellySullivanWalden.com. And I would like to welcome back to Fade to Black. And I'm going to say this right now, and I'm embarrassed. It's been way too long. Kelly Sullivan Walden. Kelly, you're glowing.
I'm dreaming. I'm so happy to be back with you, Jimmy Church. It's been a long time, and it's awesome. It's dreamy to be with you. Thanks for having me.
And there's no excuse for it. It's all on me. I apologize, but you're one of our favorite guests. You're one of my favorite people.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, I mean, we all know that. But my deepest and humblest apologies. And so I'll tell everybody what nearly happened earlier today. I almost posted, in an email to, I was like, you know what? Let's just book once a month right now. Let's just do this for the next 2 years. Right.
I'm so excited.
That way it won't happen again.
Awesome.
So, now, I wanted to ask you this actually, before I ask the obvious, what have you been up to, the last 2 years? Well, we all know what that's been like. Yeah. But you were out. Were you were out of country? Were you vacationing or were you researching? What were you doing?
Just recently or over the last 2 years?
No, over the last 2 weeks.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Over the last, for the most part, like over COVID, I was sheltered in place, and then all of a sudden June hit and it was just like off the rails. So during COVID I completed my doctorate program and I delivered my dissertation and I graduated. So I was in Washington DC for that, which was exciting, and went to Puerto Rico to visit my sister, then to Santa Fe, New Mexico for my 20th wedding anniversary. Then to Ohio, I officiated a wedding, and now I'm back. And then I'm taking off tomorrow for the IASD conference. I'll be a speaker. That's the International Association for the Study of Dreams. So I'll be in Tucson, Arizona. And that's my travel agenda for the last month.
I got email about this in Arizona. And I thought, man, that sounds like so much fun. That's a really cool conference.
My God. Yeah. It's dream passionate people, scientists, shamans, artists, of all different ages, all different types of people. Literally, it's an international conference, and they all gather from around the world during this 1 week every year. And this will be the first time in 3 years that we've been able to meet in person. So it's exciting. It's always riveting. And I think I know a lot because I've been in the dream field and been, an author, an expert in dreams for 20 years. But I learned so much at these conferences and always have my mind blown, and the people I meet, and oh my God. So if anybody wants to go at the last minute, go to asdreams.org. That's their website, asdreams.org, to just jump on it. It's in Tucson, Arizona.
So what's the deal? I got to call you doctor now?
Yeah, you can take the quotes off of Dr. Dream officially.
Yeah.
So
how cool is that?
All. Just remove the quotations, the air quotes off of Dr. Dream. That's all.
Paging Dr. Walden. Right?
You are dreaming,
That's
Jimmy.
Awesome. And okay, so what was your dissertation on? Let me. Okay, hold on. I'm going to take a wild guess. Take a wild guess. 1965 Plymouth carburetor tuning.
Oh my God! How did you know? You are so psychic. You are crazy.
I dreamt
Oh my God! Well, here's the deal. You would think that my dissertation would be on dreams, but my dissertation was on what dreams have led me to, and it's basically about the new book that I'm putting out. It's available for pre-sale on Amazon. It doesn't come out till next January, but it's called "A Crisis is a Terrible Thing to Waste: The Art of Transforming the Tragic into Magic." Because there's the last few years have been just rife with more tragedy, more drama, more pain, more suffering than in my lifetime. And I feel like I've been really tasked with how to find my way through this personally and then for my family. And so many people have just been having epic nightmares. It's been a really hard time for us. So my focus has kind of been on partly how our dreams are helping us to survive during these times, to dream outside of the box, to find solutions that don't exist in the ordinary places. But also, I've discovered a formula, and I don't know if there will be time on this show, but I'm happy to share the formula I came up with for how to transform nightmares from tragic to magic, and even just nightmares in our lives. If we're having a hard day, even if it's stressful or if it's like the worst day ever, this simple little formula can help people like pop through pretty quickly to that solution consciousness.
Yeah, well, I just wrote it down. We will come back to that.
Okay, cool.
Now, I want to start off with the science side of this.
Oh, great.
Yeah, and we can spend as much time on this as you would like, but I think there's a lot here, and I think that science finally is starting to focus on what consciousness may be and what dreams may be, and certainly other dimensions and the possibilities of this thing going in that direction. And I really feel that finally it is happening, but it's certainly long overdue. But here's my point. I had this weird revelation. I woke up after a crazy night of fun dreams. Love it.
Okay.
And I sat, this is about a month ago, and it was so profound to me that I came right on the show that night and spoke about it. And of course, I reach out to Kelly. I need help. She's like, I'm in the jungle, man.
I know. I'm like, I barely have one dot of cell service.
Yeah,
I'm eating a mango off a tree.
Like,
I'll try to help.
Yeah, church, it'll have to wait. But anyway, is this? I think that our dreams, if we get let's say dream state, not dreams, but the dream state is not inside of our head. I think that it is a timeless, without time. I don't think it's time based, because I think we are entering another reality that is not this one. And we just think that so I had this profound thing, and I just sat there and thought about it, and I wrote it down, and I ended up speaking about it on the show. So I wanted to ask you about that. Is it not in our heads? Are we maybe transporting into another dimension and experiencing that? And we call it dreams, but could it be something else entirely?
Oh, wow, Jimmy. I love that we're starting right here. So I would say this isn't something that any scientist necessarily in a laboratory would say. This is more of a metaphysical perspective. I mean, I think scientists are mostly focused on what's going on inside the brain, all those things that can be measured and quantified, which is fine, but really it's kind of just arithmetic compared to the things that you're talking about what goes on beyond our brain. I know personally from having had a near-death experience, and so many people, I'm sure you've heard, Daniel Brinkley and Eben Alexander, and there's so many, Anita Marjani, that have had major death experiences that discovered that they were still conscious even when their body shut down, even when their brain had flatlined, and yet they were still aware. of themselves. So in it, I think there is a very, very strong corollary between near-death experiences and dreams. And I know that for myself because I had my near-death experience in 2008, which I write about in my new book. It's one of the first stories in A Crisis is a Terrible Thing to Waste. And I came out of that, and that night I went to sleep. I woke up the next morning and I was like, Dana, it's the same thing. Dying and dreaming is the same thing. It's like in a death, we are gone from our bodies and we just don't come back. But in dreams, we go out and then we do come back. It's like the door isn't shut. It's like a comma or a semicolon, not a period. It's more fluid. But we go into a similar realm. And because I'm a vivid dreamer, I've been tracking dreams. I've tracked thousands of my own dreams over my lifetime. And I noticed this is very similar. It was more of a what could be compared to a lucid dream. A lucid dream is where you know you're dreaming while you're dreaming, and then you can sort of direct it, or you can have some conscious level input. So that's what having a death experience was like. And basically, just as you were saying, Jimmy, we go beyond, not just beyond our minds, not just beyond our bodies, but we go beyond our circumstances, beyond what we have ever read, beyond what we have any right to know based on our life experience in this reality. We step into a realm that is truly infinite. It's like the ceiling is lifted, and all of everything that's available in what we could call the Akashic records, the hall of knowing, of like all of that is available to us. Do we absorb all of that every night? Absolutely not. We might just tiptoe an inch in that direction, but some of us catapult way deep into quantum information that is life-changing. To me, the idea for all of us, just to kind of bring it down to earth and down to brass tacks, is all we have to do is just take 5 minutes in the morning when we wake up and just remember the simplest parts of our dream as much as we can remember, and know that it contains the stuff of infinity. It's like that little dream snippet that we remember is encoded with something so much larger than our ordinary reality. And it's worth tracking, even if it doesn't make sense to us initially. It's like we don't have to understand what it means in order to be transformed by it. So I'm going off on a tangent here, but
No, that's
answering your question at all?
Well, that's excellent, and which actually forces me into asking this next question. Do we, because of that, do we dream about our own experiences, our own things that we enjoy? Or do we dream outside of our own reality? And you like cats, so you dream about cats, right? Whatever it may be. I dream about guitars, right? Or I do. I would be lying if I said that I didn't. But I do have dreams that really have nothing to do with my daily life. And if that's the case, what does that tell us if we dream outside of our comfort zone?
Ooh, oh my gosh, there's so many things in what you just brought up. So I'll try to track this. We dream about what we're passionate about, what we're excited about. That's one level to our dreams. So if you're passionate about guitars, those will show up. If you're passionate about cats, they'll show up. If you're scared of the dark, if you're scared of owls, I'm looking at an owl right now, actually, outside my window, and it's not a real owl. But it's like if you're scared, like whatever gets your blood pumping will tend to be the stuff that fills up will be the contents of your dream theater at night. So those will be some of the elements, like we could say some of the cornerstones, but the things that also come in, it's like, I like to think, who's dreaming us? Like, is there a dream maker? Is it God? Is it our higher selves? Is it aliens? Is it like, what is it that's dreaming us? Because we're not in conscious control in our dreams. And even when we're lucid dreaming, we just have a modicum of control. Most of us, even the best lucid dreamers I know, don't completely steer the ship when they're dreaming. So there's something else. And I think this becomes a philosophical conversation. This becomes a metaphysical conversation. It depends on what your belief is. I would call it God, but I'm not attached to that label, and I don't put that on people. I say you have to identify that there's something higher, something more intelligent than our ordinary self that is what I like to call the dream maker. And I believe that dream maker is benevolent ultimately, even if the dreams we're having are difficult and stressful and painful. And we can talk all about what I believe the purpose of those kind of dreams are. But I believe that it's as if this dream maker, this higher intelligence, has an agenda for us, has our curriculum for our life in hand, and lets us know when we're on course and when we're off course, gives us a sense of what baggage we need to drop because we're filled with scar tissue and PTSD, and it's just weighing us down. It's time to drop it. And it's also giving us an excitement about, like, a preview of coming attractions. Like, should we stay on course? It's like there's a reward ahead. So that's where some of those wish fulfillment, happy, winning the lottery, great sex, dancing with unicorns or Elvis or God, whatever it is that gets you like, wow, that was the best dream, or all of the above.
Right.
Those are like rewards telling us that we're on track. So
having sex with Elvis on a unicorn,
strumming the guitar.
So, but okay. Quick question: is the luckiest person in the world somebody that dreams about winning the lottery and they do and they win it twice, or is it somebody named Dana?
You are the cutest person, Jimmy Church.
So
I love you so much. That was really sweet. Dana's my hubby, P.S.
He is the luckiest man in the world, and a cool guy too.
He is.
But you said though something very interesting. I'm not going to let this get away.
Okay.
If you're afraid of the dark,
you're
going to dream about the dark.
Oh my God!
Right?
Absolutely. I mean, if you
that's not right, but it is, because we've all had that experience. And but here's the thing: you said something else, so this goes together. If you can control your dreams somewhat, you can't steer the ship completely throughout the whole journey, but you can start the ship in a certain direction. So if you're having issues with the dark, can you start off your dream not dreaming about the dark and then hope for the best?
My suggestion, like, let's just say that you're dreaming about the thing that scares you most. For example, we're coming out of COVID, and there's a lot of scientific research. In fact, the scientist from Harvard will be speaking at the International Association for the Study of Dreams, the IASD conference, coming up this week, about all of these COVID dreams that they've tracked, thousands and thousands of them. And it seems that we dream about the things that scare us, not just to torture us, but in order to find a breakthrough, in order to figure out how to wrestle with it, how to come out victorious. So, I mean, one way of looking at nightmares is that they're helping us to adapt to, like, so if we're afraid of the dark and the dark exists, I mean, hello, fade to black. There's this, it's like, it's a part of, I mean, what you've done, Jimmy, it's like you fade to black is about kind of, I mean, it's sort of like honoring the mysterious things that go on in the dark. It's like you're embracing it and having a show that's got levity and clarity and like fun and excitement within the dark. It's like, this is what we're meant to do. I'm sure when you were a little tiny boy, you didn't pop out of the womb and say, I want to have a show called Fade to Black. I mean, all of us I'm known as the Nightmare Whisperer. And do you think I ever wanted that dubious title? I was like a Disney princess little girl. Like, I wanted happy, fluffy, sparkly things, but I had to learn how to embrace those things that scare me, because once you embrace them, they stop scaring you, and you realize there's gifts in that dark place, and it only makes us better. It's like everything. I believe everything is God. Everything is ultimately good, even if it's very dense, and even if it's a little rough and funky around the edges, once we embrace it, I always say that the way to one of my alchemy formulas is, I call it fear formula. It's to face what scares us, FEAR, face it, embrace it, ace it, and replace it.
I like that. I like that a lot. I used to, you and I have talked about this many times, but I used to love nightmares, right? The entertainment value of that is right. But
you might as well, if you're going to have them, you might as well love them because they're yours.
Right. No, seriously. But they stopped. And they stopped.
And that's what happens. When you love it, they stop being this thing that scares you and chases you. That's exactly it. All my work in a nutshell right there. You just nailed it. We're done.
That's it. Until, Kelly, until about 2 months ago, right?
Okay.
I'm having now the nightmare, and I'm vivid, man. I remember all of it. Some big black thing was in my house and specifically in my bedroom. That was the dream.
Oh my God.
And I was dreaming that I was hiding my face with my covers from this thing that I knew was in my room. Frightening as all, right? And I wake up just like this. I wake up, oh man, and I'm looking around. I'm like, okay, I'm not going back to sleep. And I remember I looked down, it's like 4:30 in the morning. And I mean, big, rough, tough Jimmy Church, right? Oh no, wuss. I need to make some coffee. I can't do this, man. I can't go back to sleep. Think happy thoughts, think happy thoughts, think happy thoughts. It was like, it was nuts. And I used to enjoy that. And I woke up like in panic mode. As a matter of fact, Kelly, I woke up, I was dreaming about my head and covered up. When I opened I had the blankets over my head. Yeah, for real. But why wasn't that fun for me?
Well, okay. First of all, let me just say, you're not a wuss. If you are having a nightmare and you don't feel that you're equipped to handle it, to overcome it, then the smartest thing to do is to wake yourself up. That's smart. That's not being a wuss. So you wake up, you get some coffee, you become awake, and then you talk about it with somebody like me so that you can develop a strategy should that dream come back again. And even if it doesn't come back into your dream, it's still in your consciousness. Right now it's unresolved. It's the Hindus call it samskara. It's like there's this scar in your consciousness from where this fear is. And the goal of life is to rid yourself of these samskaras, is to talk about it and figure out how to dissolve it. And one way, for example, I've got a dream interpretation formula I'd love to run by you. So actually, we should do that. Do you want me to do that? We can teach people how to
we'll do it right after the break. Let's get that in as perfect timing. Nice segue. You've done this before, I see. This is Fade to Black. Kelly Sullivan Walden is with us tonight. It is The Secrets of Dreams. I am your host, Jimmy Church. More with Kelly after this short break. Stay with us.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network.
Your 1 million gigawatt paranormal powerhouse, KUNX-DB, VX.
Right now, Eden Pier is having their famous BOGO deal on thunderstorm air purifiers. One listener wrote, "It makes a huge difference in our cat litter box stink. I just wish I waited for the BOGO deal. I need another one." Well, now's the time. BOGO is back, so when you buy one thunderstorm, you get one free. No matter how many you buy 2, you get 2 free. You buy 5, you get 5 free. The Thunderstorm will completely eliminate any odor, even the worst like pet, cigarette smoke, urine, and cooking. Now is the time to order. Eden Pure's buy one, get one free sale is 1 week only. With over 265,000 Thunderstorms sold and countless 5-star reviews, you know it works. People are buying several for around the home and even as gifts. Just go to EdenPureDeals.com and use discount code FADERBOGO. That's FADERBOGO, FADERBOGO. BOGO is buy one, get one free. That's EdenPureDeals.com, discount code FADERBOGO. And as always, shipping is free.
This is Billy Carson, founder and CEO of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv is the fastest growing and one of the most watched networks in the world. And I would like to personally invite you to check out our expanding library of TV, film, lectures, and special presentations. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv has over 6,000 videos covering lost history, health, UFOs, spirituality, and our future. We are committed to our community, and with my personal invitation, you can right now get your own free 30-day membership at ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Your own library of information starts today at ForbiddenKnowledge.tv.
Because you never got that pony you always wanted. Damn it. Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network.
Listen, I know, and you know, that you've always wanted your first crystal skull. Or maybe you're a collector just like me, but you just don't know where to go to find the real thing. Then I met Carolyn Ford over at EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com. Carolyn is the guardian of Einstein, one of the most respected ancient crystal skulls in the world. All of her unique skulls have been imprinted sitting with Einstein in his sacred lodge and are carved from the finest gemstone and materials. Imprinting is the process of receiving the ancient wisdom from the master skull or master computer. Einstein, the ancient crystal skull. To see Carolyn's current collection of crystal skulls, just visit her store at EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com or click on the banner over on our site. Don't forget to use the promo code Jimmy at checkout to receive 10% off of your order today. That's promo code Jimmy. Finding your first or next crystal skull is easy. Just visit EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com.
Hello, I'm Katie, and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier, and this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. We are of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier, and I'm Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers, and you're listening to Jimmy Church. The Revolution.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can become an official Fadernaut by just going to our membership section at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Hello, this is Serena Wright Taylor from Conscious Life Expo, and you're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church, who holds the Lucky Pony record for the best astrological chart since 1963. True story.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, our guest, Kelly Sullivan Walden. And tonight we're talking about the secrets of dreams. And I'm waiting for Kelly to come back into the green room. One of the things, I wanted to share this with everybody. I know that, and I used to say this, one of the things that always get funky for me is when somebody wants to tell me about their dreams, or if I catch myself telling somebody, are our dreams interesting to other people, or are they just singularly interesting to us? And and it's a thing that Kelly, I'm almost reticent to do because sometimes I tune out when I hear somebody talk about their dreams because they think the next great screenplay, right? And like this is the most epic thing. Well, it wasn't as epic as mine. And, right. And sometimes I get caught in that. And now, and this is an example. I'm going to give you one right now.
Okay.
I dream a lot. I've never said this on the air because I don't like to, because I know it's boring to most people, but
I doubt it.
But I dream about shopping malls and
That's awesome.
Yeah, endlessly stuck and lost in shopping malls, and then there's an extension of that, casinos and hotels in Las Vegas.
Wow.
Same thing, endlessly lost, stuck, walking around, and that's not interesting to somebody else, and to me, they're the most epic. I'm like, this could be a movie. No, it couldn't. It really sucks, church. But they are fun, and I have them all the time, and I don't know what it means.
Oh my heavens. Okay, let's talk about this. So, first of all, not everybody is interested in dreams. So there's that. It's like people have to have the ears to hear them and to understand that they're about to hear something that's a little bizarre, a little bit strange, but there's gold in it. So not everybody knows that. But even for those who are in the dream world, it seems that dream sharing is kind of an art. It's like you want to get right to the point. I created this thing called the Jet Set Dream Interpretation Formula that I'd love to share with you. It's a way to share your dream so that it takes it from being abstract to being something grounded and relatable. Because I think the part of a dream most of the time that's hard to hear and that where people glaze over is when it gets too abstract. It doesn't feel like it makes any sense. It's kind of like speaking a foreign language. People just don't really understand it. So after 2 seconds, they're like, whoo, bye-bye.
Right.
But if you can ground it, then all of a sudden they start to relate to it. They start to see they start to have the aha moment with you. And that's the idea, because from one perspective, we could say that dreams are the language of the soul. And according to Paulo Coelho, who wrote the book, The Alchemist, this one person, when they're connected to their soul, they're connected to the soul of the world. So if you can share your dream in such a way that it gets into the center of your soul, then all of a sudden it becomes interesting and it becomes something relevant for everybody. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Okay, so lay it out.
So I call it Jet Set, and because it's like the idea is that we want to interpret our dreams. We want to talk about dreams in a way that is exciting, just like being on a jet. We want to be flying. We want it to be exciting. So JETSET. And J stands for just the facts, ma'am. And you're really good at that, Jimmy. Like you said, okay, shopping malls, casinos, and hotels. Like I'm walking through and it's exciting. So that was like a perfect way to share it. And even the big black blob dream, you talked about that in a very succinct way. So that's perfect. The next step is the E, which is the emotion or the energy of the dream. What did it feel like? And you did that. You said it was exciting. And then with the blob, it was terrifying. So that was perfect. The T is for the title. Give it as if it were a movie. What's the title of this dream? And the interesting thing is, even if you don't spend any time thinking about it, just write down or blurt out the thing that comes to you. So give me the title of do you want to focus on the shopping dream or the blob dream first?
No, let's go. Yeah, let's not do nightmares yet.
Okay. So shopping. So
Yeah,
give me,
well,
think of one of those dreams.
Okay. Okay. I've got it. I just had it again.
Okay.
Okay. So you want a title for this?
A title as if it were a movie.
As if it were a movie, I would call it Never Ending.
Never Ending. I would see that movie. I would totally see that. And is there a subtitle? Sometimes in the title, there's a deeper description. See if you.
Yeah, oh man. Yeah. The dream is back and it's pissed off.
Hey, and you could even do the voiceover for your own movie trailer. That's great.
But because, and I think this happens with a lot of people, I certainly can't be the only one, where they repeat. They repeat, and little details are different. It's a different day. It's a different whatever.
Right.
Different experience, but it's still lost in a shopping mall. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I like Lost in a Shopping Mall too. That's a good title. Okay. Then
Lost in a Shopping Mall. That's Netflix.
Right. Coming to a theater near you. Okay. All right, so we've got J, just the facts, E, the energy or the emotion, T for the title, S is for the standout symbols. So, and we can come back to this, and I'll just run through these.
Actually, I have a standout symbol. Okay, so this is another part. Okay, I hope everybody does find this interesting. The key to these dreams are secret doors that nobody knows about. That are shortcuts for me to get through the mall or the casino.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Secret doors.
Ooh.
And I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we'll get this all figured out by the end of the show.
I think we will. I think we'll at least get one layer of it. I mean, I think dreams can actually be endlessly complex, but we could spend a lifetime decoding one dream and never get to the bottom of it. We can at least make some progress. Okay, so the standout symbols, I always say to at least identify 2 or 3, but some of the epic dreams, there's 25, but I say just narrow it down to like 2 or 3, just because so that you can move on, because remember, we're being in the jet set. We're trying to be light about it. And then the next E is for enlighten. It's a big word. And most people are like, what's enlighten? But it's one word that symbolizes a lot, like from the perspective that your dream is always trying to give you a gift. It's trying to make you better. It's trying to teach you something. It's trying to educate you. So the word enlighten. So you ask yourself, how might this dream be trying to enlighten me? And then let's see. Do you have an answer to that?
My wheels are turning. So I'm writing it down.
Okay. I'll explore it with you, and I'll share what I'm percolating if it were my dream. So the last T is take it to the streets. So once you've gone through the formula, it's like it's time to do something in the physical, your waking dream, from the perspective that we're always dreaming. There's just 2 different kinds of dream. There's the nighttime sleeping dream, and then there's the waking dream that we're in right now. And the idea is to create this connectedness, this through line between your nighttime dream and your waking reality. So is there something to do? Like, for example, once you've identified how this dream's trying to enlighten you, for example, if it were my dream, do I have permission to?
Yeah, let's go.
So in some way, because I've also had dreams similar to this, where there's these secret passageways and I'm trying to get through and find my way. And it feels kind of like life. I mean, life is a series of being in these public places, and sometimes like trying to figure out what's the best way to make it through my life path. My hero's journey is taking me in this way, and I'm trying to figure out the most efficient path, the best one for me. And maybe I don't want to go through all the ordinary gridlock. I see all these lines and all this stuckness, and I'm like, I think I want to, look at this secret passageway. It's kind of like we think that we are this, but really there's all these secret passageways. So many people actually have dreams where they find secret rooms in houses, in their office at work or whatever. It's because it's a symbol of ourselves. That mall, that casino is ourselves. There's secret doors to ourselves. We only know a certain amount about ourselves, but there are these secret passageways. And if it's kind of like being connected to our more on the edge consciousness, it leads us through and out like we don't have to suffer. Like Henry David Thoreau said that most men lead lives of quiet desperation. And that's kind of the life in the trudge of the mall, the ordinary
Right.
shopping consciousness. But if we're finding a pathway out of the casino or out of that hotel, it's like we're finding a way out of the ordinary sludge so that we can maybe find a way to joy, to expansive consciousness. So there's I feel like all of these things are a commentary about who you are, Jimmy, and also as anybody reflects, it says more about themselves than it is about anybody else. So I'm not trying to tell you definitively what your dream means, but
No, but and let me jump in.
yeah,
What
please
you
jump.
said, even though it applies to me directly,
Yeah,
it's a universal thing that would apply to anybody.
yeah,
And you said it well, because Thoreau, when those comments were made, and I thought about that too as well. I'm very familiar with the quote, and the thing is this: everybody, male or female, it doesn't matter. What you see here
exactly,
is a representative.
exactly.
That's what's going on back here is the most complex thing about their life and how crazy it is. But you meet this person, hey, how you doing? But
Right.
they are dealing with the day, right? They're dealing with the day and how complex life really is. And
Right.
that would apply right back to what you're suggesting here.
Yeah.
We are always seeking those doors and we're always seeking those answers and maybe a shortcut or two, right?
Right. And I think it might also be giving that to you. There was a friend of mine that I remember him sharing with me having dreams similar to this, and they were all the time. And he noticed, like, this is one thing you can do with a recurring dream is think of it like it's in stair steps. It's always progressing. It's never exactly a carbon copy of what happened before. There's always a little twist, a little something else, because you're moving, you're evolving, you're becoming closer. And finally, this friend of mine found his way out, like out of this maze of whatever it was inside, sort of a factory of sorts. And he found his way out, and he noticed that it corresponded to that day in his waking life. He had been struggling with all kinds of things, and he had this great solution, this great breakthrough for his business that like changed everything. So really, it's like the things that we're grappling with and struggling with and trying to figure out, there's a purpose to it. It's like how we grow, and then eventually, once we have that aha moment, it all starts to make sense. So I imagine that you finding this path, I mean, it's kind of like your show. On your show, you interview people, and you share from your own experience sort of how you find your way through the darkness and into like this more expansive place and out of the ordinary, like, I don't know, gridlock into something else. It's so now at this moment it's starting to seem clear. Also,
I was just going to say that's the enlightenment right
yeah,
there. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And if you can remember, like, I think there's a feeling tone, like when you all of a sudden discover that secret door, it's kind of this like this wonderful energy. It's different. Like there's a very distinct energy from the like kind of the struggle of how am I going to get through this? And there's all these people, and I'm got a little anxiety. And then all of a sudden, oh, there's this path. It feels really good to me. This is the piece that is worth meditating on, that feeling tone. If we meditate on that energy, then I think it correlates to the enlightenment piece, because if we tap into that part of ourselves, like the dream isn't over just because you wake up. Right now you can feel that that release, that aha moment, and that will actually help to connect you more quickly to finding that aha moment in your waking life regarding whatever this is. It's pointing towards something in your waking life.
Right. And now, okay, so in order to do that, don't you have to have your dreams resolve?
No.
How many dreams resolve?
No, you don't have to have your dreams resolve at night. I mean, it's the best when that happens. God, it feels great when you do find your way, but you can, there's something I call dream re-entry, that can help you progress the dream. So for example, if you wake up from a dream at all less than satisfied, less than fulfilled, less than yay, like I didn't quite get to the top of the mountain, or I didn't quite kiss the girl, or I didn't quite get the check, or whatever it is,
That's every dream. That's every dream. That's every dream.
Okay.
That's every dream. Dreams don't resolve themselves. Well, I want to discuss this deeper when we come back after the break. I just rudely interrupted you. Please continue.
No. We'll talk about it after the break. We'll leave the cliffhanger.
Well, in that, is it, so it's not strange.
No.
I'm not the only one that dreams don't have an ending.
No. My suggestion though is that because the dream isn't over just because you wake up so when you wake up in the morning, write down your dream so that you've grounded it in reality, and then meditate on if you were back in that dream and you were lucid and you had some control, what would you do? What would be the next step? So imagine that you can actually finish it in your waking state. Sometimes you can go back inside the dream while you're sleeping and pick it up where it leaves off, but that sometimes doesn't happen. But because you've still got this cliffhanger that you're carrying around with you, there's a very fancy Harvard study. They call it imagery rehearsal therapy, IRD. IRT, sorry. And in IRT, it's something so basic. I had been doing it for 20 years before I found out that Harvard had been doing this, but it's where you simply finish the dream with your own imagination. You write the script the way you wished your dream would have ended. And in many ways, you progress the dream. So the next time you go back in that recurring dream, it picks up 10 steps further ahead than it was where you left off when you actually woke up from that dream.
Well, okay. And then so many dreams are based on that, but the journey is the quest that doesn't complete. That's the entire dream of trying to, maybe it's in the shopping mall and I'm trying to buy a purse or whatever it is. And I don't get to do that, or whatever it is in anybody's dream. It's one experience after another that you go through during the dream, this journey, and it never happens, right? It doesn't get there. And then you wake up in the morning and you got to go to work, and certainly nothing has resolved.
There's a little trick that we can all do. And I don't know if you want to save this for the other side of the break, but there is this sort of a sneaky shortcut that I found to be so powerful to help us finish the dream and feel a sense of resolution.
Okay, I'm writing that down for after the break. Ending a dream shortcut. That's what I just wrote down. Okay, before we get to the break, I wanted to ask you this. I did a Fader fact a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago, that I got so much email on. And it was this. Now, I read this as a fact.
Okay.
And I did the research, and it was vetted, but I was shocked that you cannot read in a dream. Is that true?
Yes and no. I think
I know a sign. You're not going to read a sign on the wall. You're not going to read directions. You're not going to read a note. You cannot read during a dream. And I've never read in a dream. I had to go back.
I would say it would be really difficult to read more than a sentence or a few words. But there's definitely been a number of people. I want to say probably at least 20 that I know of that have had like a printout, like a text message or some kind of a billboard or some kind of a sign that is in English, it's printed out and it's a message. Even whether it's just one word or a few words, and that doesn't mean that the letters don't jumble soon thereafter, just like looking at a clock. Often the numbers do that. So yes, you are correct. I would say it's difficult to read. It's difficult. And it's one way to check if you're dreaming, to see if it's hard to read, then that's a message, oh my God, I'm dreaming, or you look at the clock and the numbers bounce around, then it's like, okay, I'm dreaming. Because that's more typically the way. It's not typical, but it does happen sometimes where there's this imprint of like a tattoo, a message. And when that happens, it's very special. And I believe it's something to pay deep attention to. And I've got an example of one of those from my experience that was pretty life-changing, actually.
And what was it? Are you saying that you have read before?
There was a word it was the word mosaic. And so that's not a word that is an ordinary part of my vocabulary. I've probably used the word a handful of times in my whole life.
Right.
But it was the night before I was to have a session with a woman that had lost her son. And I was kind of freaking out because I'm not a grief counselor. I mean, I'm a dream expert and I'm a spiritual counselor, but I felt like, oh my God, I'm out of my depth. How am I going to help this woman? And I asked the dream maker, I asked God, whatever, give me a dream to help me with her. And all I could remember from the whole night was just the word mosaic. It was spelled out MOSAIC. And I wrote it down over and over and over in my journal, trying to make sense of it. And nothing came to me. But in the session I had with her, I just mostly let her do the talking, where she expressed how grief-stricken she had been and how painful and how hard it was to be at the funeral. And but she was talking about how there was so many flowers, so many people, like hundreds of people turned out for her son Brian's funeral. And she said, but the most important gift that she received was this mosaic. It was a big, giant picture of her son's face that was comprised of these tiny mosaic of smaller pictures of him throughout his whole life. And she said that she had been looking at it during our whole session, this mosaic. And I was like,
what? Yeah,
so,
right. So you're the dream expert. What do you do with that?
So I burst into tears, and I told her about it, and it was like, it was a phenomenon, because I had no connection to mosaic, and I didn't know. It was almost the end of the session with her when she expressed this, and it felt like Brian was communicating in some way, like as if to say, I'm still with you. I'm on the other side. I'm connected. It felt like it was this wave of blessing, of magic amid the tragic. I write about this story in detail in my book. And here's the little added cherry on top of this whole thing. So not only was it a blessing for her, and then she shared that with the family, and everybody felt the miracle of that. But right after I got off the phone with her on the session, I got a phone call from my mother, who was telling me about how her and my dad were moving from the suburbs of Whittier, which is this sweet little town, they were going to move to Los Angeles. They wanted to be part of the thriving commerce. And I'm like, you guys are retirees. What are you doing? That's crazy.
Whittier to LA?
Yes, to downtown LA. I'm like, no.
You to Whittier.
Exactly. No, don't do it. I'm freaking out. I won't be able to handle it. She said, we found this really cute place. It's called the Mosaic. And I'm like,
shut up. As you said that to me, I was Kelly. I was like, how many times have I said the word mosaic in my life? Not many. And
many.
Most of it was probably in 1995 when Mosaic was a browser. You remember that? The Mosaic.
I don't even remember that, but it's kind of ringing a bell, but I don't think I ever used it. But
the time I said it.
Yeah. So in one day, back to back. So I was just like, oh, that was at first. I was sort of mad at my dreams, mad at God. Like, is that the only dream you're going to give me? Really? I needed something else, but that was all I needed. And it was written out very clearly.
Yeah, well, let's take our break right here. And before I do that, did your parents move to LA?
They did. And it was great. And they loved it. They're back in Whittier now, but they had an awesome couple of years at the Mosaic.
I love Whittier. We'll be right back after this short break. This is Fade to Black. Our guest tonight, the one and only Kelly Sullivan Walden. Tonight, the Secrets of Dreams. Great so far. We've got more to talk about. We'll be right back.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
You're listening to Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the X.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
The Believer is the chilling true story of Dr. John Mack, a renowned Harvard psychiatrist and Pulitzer Prize winner.
This is an outreach program from the cosmos to the consciously impaired.
He risked it all to investigate human encounters with aliens. The Believer, Alien Encounters, Hard Science, and the Passion of John Mack. Written by award-winning former New York Times journalist and author Ralph Blumenthal. Now available in paperback from High Road Books.
Introducing the Game Changer blend from River Moon Coffee that delivers a customized blend made specifically for the Fadernauts. If the game is rigged, change the game. It's a bolder cup with some bite. Game Changer is the coffee of choice for those that prefer an organic dark roast that is slightly lighter and milder, but it's still dark. With wild notes of pecans and chocolate with a rich, balanced, full-bodied cup that is roasted to perfection for a great coffee to start your day, as an after-dinner coffee or anywhere in between. Artisan, small batch roasted to perfection. USDA certified organic, all River Moon coffee is freshly roasted and packaged in the USA. Just go to rivermooncoffee.com or click on the banners over on our site and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. rivermooncoffee.com. Do you want to be an official Fadernaut? Of course you do. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. Just go to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com. Fadernauts, when you think about the future of our country and where we're headed, do you wonder about the food supply? I do. Disruptions in the food supply chain could be disastrous, and they usually occur with little warning. That's why the smartest thing you can do today is to stockpile emergency food, water, and other essentials. I personally recommend My Patriot Supply. They're the nation's largest emergency preparedness company, serving millions of customers for more than a decade. In fact, they're the only source my family trusts for our preparedness plan. You should too. Right now, save 20% off a full 4-week supply of delicious meals that provide 2,000 calories a day. Saving 20% helps too, doesn't it? Especially now. So go to preparewithjimmy.com and get ready. That's preparewithjimmy.com. There's no time to lose. Do it now.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA.
Hi, I'm Ray Sobbs, and I'm here to tell you about something I really think you're going to like. The UNX Network is a part of a larger group called UNX Media, and one of the things we offer is the quarterly UNX magazine, which is available both in print and digital formats. This amazing magazine covers all aspects of the unexplained, and makes for a great coffee table periodical that is certain to spark enlightening conversations in your living rooms. We invite you to check out the latest digital issue for free. Just go to unxnetwork.com/membership and fill out your free membership with your name and email and become a new free member. The new summer issue is now available, and the theme is Time Anomalies, which includes a feature article written by our managing editor, Lee Spiegel. Just go to unxnetwork.com/memberships. That's unxnetwork.com/memberships and get your free e-copy of the Unx magazine today.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I got to get ready for this. I gotta stretch. I got to get ready. Kelly Sullivan Walden is with us. We're talking about dreams. This is the best show ever. Now, tonight, and I'm not kidding about this, calling this the Secrets of Dreams, because if I've got questions, if I want to know really what's going on, it's Kelly, and I've got a list of stuff. I want to know the secret stuff. Now, you just said you've got a shortcut for us, okay, on how to resolve and end a dream. We'll get back to that. It's in my notes. I've written it down. Okay. Don't think I'm going to forget. But I want to know this. Why is it that time doesn't matter in a dream? How can we dream a full week of stuff, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, all of the events, everything happens in real time. You experience a week and you wake up and you were asleep for 6 hours. That doesn't make any sense. And out of that 6 hours, how much of the 6 hours, 8 hours, whatever, how much of that is spent actually dreaming? So, I don't know, what is it? A couple of hours that we're like in a serious dream state? How can we dream a month in a few hours? It doesn't, unless we're going to somewhere where, space time, it doesn't matter with dreams. How is that possible?
Oh, there's so much to say here. So there is, I'm gonna first bring in Einstein, because why not? Let's just bring in Einstein and the theory of relativity, and that basically says that time is relative to the observer. And so from that perspective, there is no definitive measure of time ultimately in our reality here in the third dimension. We sort of measure by time, but this is just the third dimension. This is not the whole reality. There are infinite dimensions. And so really in the third dimension is the only place where time exists. And we're not in 3D when we're dreaming. From a bit of a scientific perspective, our prefrontal cortex is what we're using right now. This is the part of our mind that measures things, that is logical and rational and very grounded. And this is the part of us that can look at the clock and we have a sense of what 5 minutes feels like, 10 minutes. But this is the part of our mind, our brain, our prefrontal cortex shuts off most of the time while we're asleep. Not all the time. It does sometimes come back on during REM, but mostly it's on and off, and mostly off. It needs a rest. It needs a break because it's running the show of our lives while we're awake most of the time. The moment the prefrontal cortex shuts down, we're not in time anymore. And in fact, we could say there's the right and left hemisphere. There's the left hemisphere of our brain is what calibrates time and all of that. And our right hemisphere of our brain is more abstract. So there is this reality that is much more it's a much more powerful reality that is not in time. So there are people that actually will dream an entire, not just a couple hours or a week, but a lifetime in a dream. That is absolutely conceivable because we're not limited in dreams. We're outside of the box where time doesn't exist. According to Einstein, everything exists all the time. And even some more metaphysical folks like Bashar, my friend Daryl Anka, who channels Bashar, he talks about how there are multiple simultaneous lifetimes. It's not just a matter of linearly looking at past lives and future lives and then this present life that we're in, but everything existing right now, all here, multiple simultaneously. So really in a dream, I think of it, okay, this is funny because I think in terms of symbols. So imagine one of those big sandwiches that you can get from Subway that's just stacked with all kinds of layers of meat and cheese and lettuce and tomato and it's just like this huge stack. So imagine that is all of time, and the stack, the piece of the sandwich that we're focused on right now is just that little center piece of cheese.
Right.
This is really bizarre. I can't believe I'm going here.
No,
but in a dream,
you can go banana peppers, layer banana peppers.
Thank you. And a little jalapeno and all that. So then in a dream, we jump up to where the banana peppers are. And we go all the way from the beginning to the end. And then we wake back up and we're at the pepper jack cheese layer. But it's all there and it's all us.
Right. Somebody by the way, I like this comment. I might be psychic, but I think blue is her favorite color. And I didn't post it tonight, but one of my favorite pictures is of the two of us somewhere together. But yeah, you are wearing you're blue.
I'm out of the closet. Yep, it's true. It's so true. My show would be Fade to Blue.
Yeah, Fade to Blue. Now somebody just posted, and I don't have it here, but it said that I've lived an entire life in one dream, raising kids and marriage and jobs and everything. And I just don't see how that's possible. Unless, well, it is possible because we've all done it. It's just, how does this happen unless there is another explanation? Bashar, Daryl Anka's explanation of this. I think you and I have seen Bashar together before.
Yeah.
And I have always asked Bashar some kind of time travel, time question, because he explains it so well, but I very rarely understand it, right? It's like I want him to repeat it, but he says, man, time is everything all at once, man.
Yeah.
You're looking at it wrong. We don't experience time how you are trying to experience, how you are trying to ask me this question right now. No, time is everything all at once. And that's the best. Before. Okay. I remember telling you about this dream. I only had it once, but it was just so vivid. And I think about it all the time, where I wrote my autobiography.
Ooh.
And I remember you and I talking about this. In that, I start out, it was a cold winter day, and I start out the book, and I go through my childhood, I go through everything, I write it all, and I get to the end, and that's my life story, the end. And I write my entire life. I write a book.
Wow.
And I remember every word of every chapter and sitting there. How is that possible that I can do that in 8 hours? Now, it was a wonderful dream, but I woke up in the morning going, how can I have that entire experience in just a few hours. It doesn't make any sense, Kelly.
No, it doesn't make sense to the prefrontal cortex, to the rational, logical part of our brain, which is primarily who we identify ourselves as. But if you think a tiny bit shamanically, which we're doing, anytime we talk about dreams, we're in the realm of the shamans, period. We're in the realm of the sorcerers. We're in non-ordinary reality. There's a term that the shamans use called, well, at least the ones that I know, called recapitulation. And it's actually a shamanic exercise where you envision your whole life, whether backwards to forwards or forwards to backwards. But you, by writing your story, I imagine that was quite a shamanic journey you were on, because it's as if you're owning your power. To write something is to write something. It's like you're owning it. You're claiming it, you're loving it. It's like you're turning your life into art. And to me, that's one of the most powerful dreams to have, is to be able to write it. That means that you are the author, the authority of your life, and you've put words to your experience. You've owned it. This is what we do when we have near-death experiences or death experiences. We have these like life reviews. And so you did that, but in a form that you actually wrote word by word, and you remember it. So it's a really powerful dream. And it might be a precursor to you perhaps writing a memoir or writing your autobiography. These days, people are more apt to write memoirs, which is kind of like an autobiography, but more of a slice of life. So I think if you haven't yet, Jimmy, it's this dream, and the fact that you're bringing it up to me, because I'm actually, one of the things I'm doing sort of on the side, because I've written so many books, is I'm supporting people. I have a writing course coming up in September called Get Her Done, which is about like owning the dream of your life by writing your book, just like what you did in your dream, which is fascinating.
I still can't. I've been working on it. I still can't come up with the first sentence, but when I do,
Fade to Black is the beginning. And by the way, if we ever did a show, it would be called Fade to Black and Blue.
Fade to Black and Blue. That was a band. That was a band in the 80s. Okay. And
oh well, I thought I was so original.
Some people are laughing at that. Some people are not. You can't joke about black and blue. What about dying in your dreams? Okay, let's get to the urban legend about that. Right? Never die in your dreams. You're not going to wake up. Now, what? And then I want to get to this comment here. Hold on. Is this one? I thought you were supposed to wake up before you hit the ground, right? Okay, so what about that? Do people die in their dreams? And if they do, are they not waking up? And what is there to this, or is it just some urban legend that is self? Oh, by the way, I think I recapitulate after a hard night of drinking. That's I've experienced that many times.
Or that. It might not be shamanic at all. It's just a drunken stupor. There you go.
It was with the band Black and Blue.
It was with them.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Now, so what about
death in a dream?
Yeah, death in a dream.
Okay, so the urban legend is if you die in your dream, you actually die in real life, in waking reality. That's not necessarily true. I know so many people that died in their dream, and what happened to them, there's a corollary in their waking life where there's a radical change. Death is symbolic, and dreams speak the language of symbol. It's symbolic of a radical ending. I mean, we're changing and growing. We die daily. We're reborn daily anyway. But if you die in a dream, that usually symbolizes it's the end of a major life pattern, major cycle. It's over, and a new version of you is about to begin. Now, there may be those that did have a dream where they died, and they did die, but we'll never know because they're on the other side unless they channel through somebody. I think it's possible. I know that a lot of people have dreams about being on the edge of death, and sometimes it's so terrifying that it causes them to wake up only to realize that they had maybe sleep apnea and they weren't breathing well, and the dream was trying to get their attention. From the perspective that our dreams are on our side and they're always trying to help us out, a dream of dying, it's like trying to get our attention to make a change, to let something go so that we can be born anew into this incarnation. We don't have to die physically in order to have, like when I talk to Dannion Brinkley, we always talk about how most people don't have to be as dense as he or I am to actually have a near-death experience. Some of us can just have a really vivid dream about dying and get the benefit of having that like shaking up. So we change radically when we wake up. Most people aren't as dense as Dannion Brinkley and myself.
Well, Dannion Brinkley, for sure.
I love him.
Yeah, he's the best.
He said that. He would say that out loud. I'm not talking behind
He would. Oh,
he's an awesome dude.
And there's nothing better than a Dannion Brinkley hug. I mean,
nothing better.
No. Like in the world,
except for a Jimmy Church hug. But,
no. Well, maybe. Okay, it's like this: chocolate mousse, Dannion Brinkley hug. That's a tough call, man.
I picked Jimmy Church. Sorry, that's it. Hands down. End of conversation.
Man, I missed you. What's the shortcut to ending a dream?
Well, okay, so this is whether we and I borrow this from Robert Waggoner. I got to give him credit. He's a lucid dreaming expert who's tracked thousands of his own lucid dreams, and I've tried this for myself, and it absolutely works. So the idea is whether you're remembering your dream in an awake state and you're looking back on your dream, like you just shared, like your black blob dream or the shopping dream or the casino dream, and it's like anything that's unfinished, whether inside the dream itself from a lucid state or from an awake state, remembering it, the quickest, best way to make progress on that dream is to go backstage. Imagine that you go backstage, kind of like what you do in your shopping dreams where you find those tunnels or those things where you just go backstage and you yell out loud, and you imagine yourself, you could just picture yourself doing this, yelling to the dream maker, what am I supposed to know here? What am I supposed to know? And that in some way kind of cuts all the, like it cuts out the middleman, it cuts out all the scenarios and and it just kind of goes right to like the next place on the script or on the curriculum for you. Like, oh, so you're going to be flooded with, when you ask that question, we could even all ask it right now. Like, P.S., what am I supposed to know right here, right now, in this waking dream I'm having with Jimmy Church? So if we had the time, we would sit in some silence and we would maybe do some journaling to see what comes through. And even if we don't get an absolute answer, notice the energy changes somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
It brings us out of the shallow end into the deeper pool, into the deeper end, because we're listening for like, what am I supposed to know? Instead of like, let me figure out, who is this person? Why is this person here? It's like, just dream maker, what am I supposed to know? That simple, elegant question will cut through so much of the crap and just get us right to the gold.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I like that.
By the way, it's a good mantra to have just in our waking lives as we go, like something happens to us. We find out about something traumatic on the news. We find out about something unsettling. And we say, okay, what am I supposed to know here? What is this teaching me? How can I get to it? Instead of adding more problem to the problem, what's my solution? What am I supposed to know?
Last night, I just want to see you laugh for a second. So last night, I woke up in the middle of the night, had to go to the bathroom. Right, it's like 4:00 in the morning, and I wake up and I remember my dream, and I sit up on the edge of the bed. And I'm like, I'm dreaming about Charlie Clouser. Charlie Clouser was an engineer of the highest order at Bell Laboratories when I worked there in 1982. And
he was what did you say at Bell Laboratories? He was the highest.
He was an engineer, very smart guy at Bell Laboratories. Okay. But no, so check this out. I'm sitting on the edge of the bed. I mean, Charlie Clouser in my dream all night. And I haven't thought about this guy in years. And I sit up on the edge of the bed and I've got an audible audiobook playing. on the secrets of quantum physics and mechanics, right?
Whoa, Jimmy Church, that is a great thing to do while you're sleeping.
I do it all the
Damn.
time. Anyway, so I'm sitting there on the edge of the bed and I'm thinking about Charlie Clouser. And then I hear the author in the audio book go. And so then Clouser showed up in Switzerland for the conference and I went, Clouser? And I look and I'm listening, and it was like a chapter on this guy, Clouser. And so don't think that your Audible books on tape that you listen to while you go to sleep do not steer your dreams, because they do.
They absolutely do.
Oh, man. Charlie Clouser, right? I was like, what's the significance of this? And it was just so funny. So Clouser then accepted the invitation to go to the conference in Switzerland to discuss this theory on quantum mechanics. I was like, I looked at my little speaker and I went, oh, man, I'm so relieved that I don't have some kind of weird fascination to my old friend Charlie Clouser.
That is so interesting. But there's a reason that of all the data that was in what you were listening to, the fact that you picked that, give me a few adjectives that describe the energy or the essence of him.
Goober, nerd, combed over flat, greasy hair, pocket protector, always wore a white shirt, and genius. Right? Genius. You would look at this guy and just walk past him, right? With zero interest on his persona. That's what geeks are. They're not they're not social people. They don't dress to impress. They are people of the mind. And that's what he was. And he was such an interesting guy. Loved him and I loved hanging out with him. But I haven't thought about him since I was 21.
So one thing to do with this dream is to even ask that question, like, what am I supposed to know here? How might Charlie Clouser, what he represents, be trying to enlighten me, trying to give me something? So what might, let's just jump to that second E in Jet Set.
I did think about that. And we've got 2 minutes left before the break, but I did think about that. And I don't want to sound twisted or morose.
Okay.
But what I thought about was, I'm 58. Mm-hmm. Charlie was probably 20 years older than me. Is he still around? Does he know that I'm thinking about him right now? That was the thought. That was the finality. That was the closure for me on this. And I know it sounds strange, but you have to really think about how some people affect your life and you don't really know it or appreciate it at the time. But here I am, that was 1982. This is 2022. That was 4 decades ago.
Right.
And here I am remembering his first and last name. Right. Wow. And having this cyclic closure, right? This
Clouser, not just a closure, but a Clouser.
Bingo. Yeah. And I thought about that. I thought, where is he today? He's got to be 20 years older than me. And I went through the whole thing. I wonder if he knows that I'm thinking about him right now. Yeah.
That's amazing. And I would say that's the literal aspect, and the symbolic aspect is everybody and everything in our dream is an aspect of ourselves. So why is it important that I connect with the Charlie Clouser aspect of myself? How might that benefit me in my life to embrace this, my inner nerd that is a genius, this pocket protecting, greasy hair, comb over, white t-shirt wearing, or white button up, whatever it is. Like, why is that important to me in my life right now that I dreamt about him?
Yeah. And I have a sort of direct connection back to him. One of my best friends actually lived next door to him. That was
wow.
Our neighborhood. I've only got 30 seconds. Our neighborhood where we all grew up. High school, all of our friends and everything.
Yeah.
And then I go to work at Bell Labs, which was miles away. And I'm sitting over at my friend's house. His name is Jim. I'm sitting over there one day, and I said, "Yeah, man. So today at work, blah blah blah. Charlie Clouser, da 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 da." And he goes, "Charlie Clouser." I go, "Yeah." From Bell Labs. I go, "Yeah, dude. He lives next door." And I go,
"The goober next door."
Yeah, I'm like, "What do you mean he lives next door?" "Next door. Let's go say hi." And we walked over on the door. He opens, "Church, what's up?" I'm like, "Clouser, you live next door to McCleister." "Yeah, I've lived here and I was like, what is going on here? And it was funny because I saw Charlie Clouser's 5 kids all wearing pocket protectors. 4 years.
Okay. I just think it's so cool because if this were my dream, it's like there's the Jimmy Church character that is this, like, he loves guitars and he's this cool dude with this great voice. You're the exact opposite of the goobery, like nerdy dude. And yet he's in your dream. I think sometimes we have these dreams about these random people because they're a part of ourselves. And then by embracing that, like, clearly there's an inner goober in all of us, and how much better off we would all be if we embraced it instead of saying, no, I'm too cool for school. I don't need any of that. It's like, the more of that, the better. You could still be cool and be like, the goober of the planet.
Break right here. I've got to pay for my goobers. So let's do that now. Our guest tonight, the one and only Kelly Sullivan Walden. We are talking about tonight the secrets of dreams. More with Kelly after this short break. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hi, everybody. This is Rob Halford, the Metal God, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Your 1 million gigawatt paranormal powerhouse, KUNX-DB, the X.
Right now, the world couldn't be more chaotic. History shows us what gold does when the world goes crazy. It goes up in value. Right now, we're in unprecedented times. The pandemic, the war in Ukraine, the devaluation of the U.S. dollar. Gold and other precious metals are a defense measure against the hyperinflation that's happening right now. So, what can you do to protect yourself? Call my friend Alan Johnson at United Gold Group. He's dedicated to helping people secure their retirement income. He'll help you with gold, with silver, and other precious metals, and show you how to set up your own self-directed IRA. Safe and secure, United Gold Group makes gold ownership easy and affordable. There couldn't be a better time, so call now and get a silver American Eagle proof set with a qualified IRA. Call 800-753-8534. That's 800-753-8534, or visit UnitedGoldGroup.com. Reach out to my friend, Alan Johnson.
The Believer is the chilling true story of Dr. John Mack, a renowned Harvard psychiatrist and Pulitzer Prize winner.
This is an outreach program from the cosmos to the consciously impaired.
He risked it all to investigate human encounters with aliens. The Believer, Alien Encounters, Hard Science, and the Passion of John Mack. Written by award-winning former New York Times journalist and author Ralph Blumenthal. Now available in paperback from High Road Books.
Are you ready to read about true paranormal events? Unex Media publishes nonfiction books about UFOs, ghosts and haunted places, time anomalies, cryptid creatures, and more. Just like KUNX-DB Radio, it's all about unexplained phenomena. Visit www.unxmedia.com to see our list of great book titles by Debbie Ziegelmeyer, Gene Walker, Devin Listrom, Wayne Lawrence, Bill Spicer, and yours truly, Margie Kay. That's unxmedia.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I only drink Fade to Black blend coffee from River Moon. Just click on the River Moon Coffee banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Promo code F2B Blend.
This is the only way forward.
This is Fade to Black. Make contact.
Join us August 5th through the 7th, 2022 at the Drury Conference Center in Cape Girardeau, Missouri for the launch of the Midwest Conference on the Unknown. There are 3 interactive days packed with vendors, exhibitors, and nationally recognized researchers presenting on unknown topics like UFO UAP phenomenon, ghosts and Bigfoot, and Missouri's own Momo, the Missouri Monster. Cape Girardeau has long been one of the most sought-out areas for UFO enthusiasts since the 1941 UFO crash. And now is your chance to be a part of the inaugural conference. Visit cape-events.com or follow us on Facebook at Midwest Conference on the Unknown for more information. Ex-listeners get 30% off by using the promo code XVIP. That's cape-events.com, promo code XVIP.
When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roasted to the dark side of fade to black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why Fade to Black? Because you never got that pony. Damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network.
Welcome back. Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Don't worry, I'm letting everybody know, including Kelly. We're doing overtime tonight with Kelly. That's it. There's just no way. Tell Dana you're mine tonight, and he's just gonna have to accept it. Hey, did you see Stranger Things?
No. Should I see it?
What?
Is it great?
Okay, we're not doing overtime. So
I'll have to binge it between now and the next time we talk.
It's all about dreams.
What?
And the upside down.
Oh my God. Okay. I promise you. I promise.
It's 5 or 6 seasons now that you've got to watch it from the beginning.
Okay, I will.
No, it's not just about, but yeah, you have to check it out. Anyway.
Oh, I'm excited. Okay, cool.
That's my T-shirt. My satanic T-shirt, the Hellfire Club. And now, so the Hellfire Club, for those that watch Stranger Things are laughing at this shirt because they know how badass this shirt is. Hellfire Club is the Dungeons and Dragons geek nerd club at the high school, right? You know, they're not the cool crowd. They're the Dungeons and Dragons crowd, and their club is called the Hellfire Club. So they wear these T-shirts in Stranger Things, you know, the Hellfire Club. And I had to get one, and I got me a friggin' Hellfire Club.
Oh, that's so cool. Okay, well, I am going to binge it, and by the next time I see you, I hopefully will be all caught up.
You're going to be wearing one of these. I hear you can get them in blue, so you'll be just fine. Okay. Cool. Now, I wanted to do this. I want you to check this out because I think this is so important. And here's the question, and it's from Monica. Great night, Jimmy. Ask about premonition in dreams that come true. That's the number, out of everything else, sleep night terrors, nightmares. What about premonitions and dreams that come true? It's got to be like the number one subject that you get asked about.
Yeah, it definitely it's up there. And here's what I know about it. Like we talked about earlier in the show that dreams take place in non-local reality. We're outside of time in dreams. Dreams don't differentiate between past, present, and future. It's all one big swirl. It's all happening simultaneously. So but there's a shamanic belief that we dream everything before it happens in our third dimension, the most important things. And if we don't remember those kind of dreams, it's not because they didn't happen, it's because we didn't remember them. There's a lot of dreams that are really important that we just miss. We wake up in the morning and it's like it's completely gone. So how do we know if it's a premonition dream? If you are somebody who takes your dreams, and I always like to say, if you don't take your dreams lying down, if you're somebody who takes your dreams seriously, in other words, and you start to track your dreams, you can start to detect a theme in the way that you dream. And my hunch is that we all have premonition dreams, and we all have a certain way that those dreams show up. There's always some kind of a theme. For example, Kathleen Canavas, who you might know, you might have interviewed her. She's somebody who had several premonition dreams about the cancer that was found in her breast. Even though she kept getting a clean bill of health, she was getting mammogram after mammogram. And there was this crazy, like intense Franciscan monk that kept showing up in her dream pointing at her breast. And she kept going back in, and she eventually demanded exploratory surgery just so she could stop this recurring dream from happening. And it turned out she had stage 4 cancer in her breast that was not detected by any of the medical devices. She was able to get a mastectomy and she lived, but it was like the doctor said, had they not caught it, it would have been like, it would have taken her out. So this was a premonition dream. It was also a recurring dream. So now after this monk will show up in her dreams, and she knows it's a dream worth paying attention to. She knows it's usually about something that's about to happen. There's some people that have premonition dreams that take place in a theater, or there's always some character, or there's some certain feeling that comes over them when they have that dream. So how do we know it's a premonition dream? We don't know until it plays out in waking reality. But once we see, oh, okay, wait a minute, I was in that theater, or I was with that friend from high school, or I was on that bike, or I had that guitar, that purple polka dotted guitar, whatever that was, it's like, that's like part of your dream speak, letting you know that you've entered that portal. So we all have them. It's just important to pay attention to what the themes are. And I would say if it feels like a strong dream that relates to something that you know is coming up, or something that's around the corner, then consider that it might be a premonition dream and maybe act on it. So maybe you can change things. I have a silly example, maybe not silly, but my mom had a dream about a man on a tractor that fell to his death. And what was strange about that was that we lived in a suburb. We never saw tractors, but it was very clearly across the street from the house. She woke up in the morning and saw a man on a freaking tractor in front of the house. And she was like, that just never happens. It's never happened once in her whole life. So she knew something was going to happen to this guy because of this dream. So in her curlers and in her crazy night outfit, like cold cream on her face, she walked across the street and said, I don't mean to scare you, but I had a dream about somebody on a tractor and it didn't go well. So I want to just tell you this so that you're just very careful. And nothing happened. There was no incident, but it might have been her giving him that little bit of warning that might have made a difference. How will we ever know?
Right. Was that in Whittier?
Yes, it was.
Wait, did you grow up in Whittier?
I did.
Okay, wait. I'm going to take a wild guess. This is why I guarantee that we have never had this conversation. Pioneer High School?
No, but close. We played My high school, I was at California High School.
You're at California High
Cal
School.
High.
I
And
was
we played Pioneer. Did you go to Pioneer?
No, but I hung out. All of my friends are from there. Bishop
Small
Amat
world.
High School and Covina, Whittier.
You grew up in West Covina?
No, I spent my time in Pasadena, but my band rehearsed in La Puente.
Oh my God, that's right over the hill from Whittier.
That's the hood, right?
That's the hood.
And so yeah,
Chewy from La Puente.
you know who? You remember the band Striper?
Yeah,
they were from Pioneer High School.
they were.
All of them, like all of
That's
them.
cool.
They were
That's
Pioneer,
cool. I don't think anybody came out of California High School except I don't know.
except you,
Except
you.
me.
Except you.
Barely.
I just love Whittier, though. I do. I love that part of the world. It's a great part of LA. And you know what, though? It used to be. This is what's trippy to me. That whole area used to be the country, right? That was way out.
Yeah.
That was a
Orange Groves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's now it's Los Angeles. It's all connected.
Yeah.
Crazy. Pretty soon, Palm Springs is going to be connected to West Covina.
To Whittier. Whittier adjacent.
Isn't it weird, though, how it used to be, man, we're going to Whittier. What? Why would you go way the hell out there? Now it's down the street.
Right. Exactly.
It's so weird. So weird. Okay.
Yeah.
Next. Okay.
Wait, speaking of Fade to Black, though, do you know who's from Whittier that you might?
Who?
Did you ever hear of Elvira?
Yes, of course.
Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. She's from Whittier. And so is Richard Nixon. So there. And maybe they were an item. I'll never say. I'm not starting any rumors, but.
Tricky Dicky and Elvira. Pioneer High School. Who knew, right?
Who knew?
Hey, Elvira, kind of hot back in the day. I'm just going to say.
Back in the day.
There was something, I don't know what it was, the opposite of anything that I was ever attracted to, right? The opposite. But I would
with her big mullet and
the makeup and things. But there was something about that image that worked.
Yeah.
Elvira was all right. Okay.
Yeah.
But from Elvira to
where do we go from there?
Drugs. Let's talk about drugs.
Let's talk about drugs.
Yeah, drugs and dreaming. And it's so funny how I can be around friends and we'll talk about dreams, and we do, and then I'll have somebody say, well, you know what really helps me really dream is I do this, and this. Or I'll have somebody else say, no, not that. You want to do this. Or somebody else will say, no, this. And I'll have somebody else go, no, you don't want to do anything. So what's the deal there? Is there a drug or an enhancer of some kind? Drug is a overarching term that I'm using here, but is there an enhancement tea? Is there an herb tea you can drink before bed?
Oh, definitely. Mugwort is supposed to be great, and chamomile, of course. Anything that relaxes you. Anything with tryptophan. So after Thanksgiving dinner, if you are a carnivore, you'll have you'll tend to dream more because you fall asleep a little bit more relaxed. Vitamin B6 is helpful.
Really?
And I don't know if it's true exactly. I don't think there's ever been a clinical study, but some people swear by peanut butter. A little scoop of peanut butter before bed. I think what it does is that because it's got mostly protein, if it's not like a real sugary peanut butter, it stabilizes your blood sugar and it helps you to stay stable so that you don't have all these spikes in the night. Because sometimes when our blood sugar drops, then we'll have this kind of adrenalized jerking awake, and that kind of disrupts the sleep. But now on the other side of things, a lot of people will drink before they go to sleep. It's like having a nightcap is a very common thing, or smoking pot before going to sleep. And that will help you go to sleep, but it doesn't help you stay asleep. So those actually get in the way of your sleep, and it gets in the way of your ability to have strong dream recall. Sometimes with marijuana, for example, it's almost like there's this fog. You have a lot of dreams, but it becomes really difficult to remember them and to recall them and bring them into your waking reality. So just like what you said, you were kind of sounded like you were joking, and I don't know if you were or not, but it's kind of true. The best thing is to find the most natural way to get to sleep and to dream, and that's the best. And one way to do that, and here's just a very simple thing, it's to not go to bed angry, not go to bed resentful. If you can, like, do some journaling. If you're upset about something, try not to sleep inside of that energy. I know if I'm upset, if somebody says something to me, if I get in an argument with somebody in my family or whatever, I know I need to journal about it and get it out of my system so that I'm not spending my sleep time and dream time cycling through that. It's like, do some journaling to clear it so that you can spend your sleep and dream time in a more peaceful way. And I would always say, and there's actually some science behind this, if you are having a difficult time sleeping and you wake yourself up, you should do some journaling. Journaling is a great way to get back to sleep, but to have your journaling conclude with a gratitude list. So if you have make a gratitude list of, let's say, 5 or 10 things, what it does is it triggers serotonin in the brain. And serotonin is that feel good chemical that calms you down and it gives you the impression, even if there's all kinds of chaos going on in your life, that gratitude kicking in, the serotonin has you feel that you're going to be okay. It's like, I must be okay. If I'm grateful for all these things, then I'm not in panic mode. I'll be able to sleep and dream better. So it's a simple thing you can do.
Yeah, probably a good solid 10 years of my life, from the age of 20 to maybe 30, 32. I smoked pot. That was the last thing I did before I got into bed. And I assumed that I was dreaming better and I was having better sleep, and it turned into a crutch. I can tell you this.
Yes.
That today, where I have now lived nearly 20 years pot free.
Whoa.
It's not that I'm against pot. I love pot. It's just that I can't work, and I can't be paranoid while I'm on the air. Can you imagine? No, I can't do it. So that's why I love pot. But my dreams now that I live this purified existence, my dreams today are easily mega folding in times more magnificent than when I was smoking weed every night.
Right.
And I'm not so sure, because I enjoyed dreaming high. I enjoyed sleeping high. I like watching TV high before you fall asleep. Man, those are great things. But
absolutely.
It's a distant memory. It may have been an illusion, because I certainly enjoy dreaming now, and I have full recall. Before we get to the break, no, don't answer, because I've got too many things I've been listing here because of you tonight.
Okay.
And now I forgot my thanks. Okay, so right.
Here, Jimmy, take it.
I know. Hold on. Okay. It's the last thing that I do in my life. I don't do anything fun anymore. What about eating, though?
Oh, yeah.
Some people say, hey, man, Italian food before you go to bed, best dreams ever. Some say Mexican food. Some say you've got to have a Big Mac and fries and a chocolate shake before you go to bed. And so what about eating?
So from the perspective that our dreams are really sacred, our dreams are really important. There's some dreaming tribes that say that we should live our lives in such a way to support us having the best dreams possible. So if that was the goal, then we definitely wouldn't eat a heavy meal. We would have at least 3 to 4 hours before we go to sleep. We would, like, let's say if you go to sleep at 10 o'clock, then you wouldn't eat anything after 7 o'clock. Because that having a heavy meal means that it's like there's kind of a sludge going on in your brain and your body. It means that you're kind of distracted. But if you've mostly digested your food and you go to sleep and your body's feeling light, then you'll tend to have better dreams. You'll tend to have dreams that are where you get to take off and go into kind of what we were talking about at the very beginning of this show, Jimmy, about going beyond your mind, beyond your circumstances, and kind of exploring the vastness of your consciousness. But if you're heavy laden, if you've had a big, heavy dessert, eaten a whole cheesecake before you go to bed, you're going to be having nightmares. It's like your indigestion. Your body affects your mind affects your body. So if your body is like sitting there curdling, it's going to curdle your dreams. So you want to have lightness before you go to sleep. If you need to have, I think this is where the peanut butter piece comes in, because if you need to have something in your belly so that you're not going to sleep hungry, then something that is like a protein snack that's not too high in sugar, but mostly like even a handful of nuts or even a glass of milk, something that's like high in protein, that'll give you stabilized blood sugar, which will give you more access to stabilized dreams. Lots of sugar, lots of fat, lots of carbs is going to just send your blood sugar like on a wild roller coaster ride, and your dreams are going to reflect that.
No cheesecake. I wrote it down.
3 hours before.
Wrote it down.
3 to 4 hours before.
No cheesecake for you.
And none of that fade to black coffee right away either. You want to not have any of that. Like, I would say like after noon, that should be your last cup of fade to black. Why is that so funny?
As I'm drinking my coffee.
Right now, before you go to sleep, for real?
Uh-huh.
You need to have fade to black dream tea, Jimmy. That's the next thing. That's the next infusion. We'll come up with that together.
I can have that done. I can have that done. We can have our picture on it together.
Black and blue tea. Woo!
Think about it.
Sweet dreams.
Okay. Hey, wait a minute. Okay. You just remember that.
I will. I got it.
I can make that happen.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we're going to, you know what? Let's just get into the break now. So we can, I've got a whole list of stuff that I want to get to. Also,
we'll do rapid fire.
Yeah, when we come back after the break, do you remember when I told you about the way that I would get into a dream and fall asleep? I would crawl through a window.
Oh, yeah, I do remember you saying
that. Remember that? Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to circle back to that.
Okay.
I want to talk about deja vus. I want to talk about dreaming in color and black and white. And, well, I got cheesecake off of the list. So we don't have to do that. So if we can get all of that in overtime, we're gonna have it.
We're gonna rock it. We'll do it.
Wrap this thing up.
Even though I haven't watched Stranger Things yet.
Man.
Okay. I promise.
That's a game changer right there.
Okay.
Game changer.
I'm
All right. This is Fade to Black. Our guest tonight, the one and only Kelly Sullivan Walden. We're going into overtime. You knew I wasn't going to end this show early. I'll be right back after this short break. Tonight, it is The Secret of Dreams. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the X.
Hey, what up, y'all? It's your girl Vivica Fox here, and you are listening to my boy, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
Right now, Eden Pure is having their famous BOGO deal on thunderstorm air purifiers. One listener wrote, "It makes a huge difference in our cat litter box stink. I just wish I waited for the BOGO deal. I need another one." Well, now's the time. BOGO is back, so when you buy one thunderstorm, you get one free. No matter how many you buy 2, you get 2 free. You buy 5, you get 5 free. The thunderstorm will completely eliminate any odor, even the worst like pets, cigarette smoke, urine, and cooking. Now is the time to order. Eden Pure's buy one, get one free sale is 1 week only. With over 265,000 thunderstorms sold and countless 5-star reviews, you know it works. People are buying several for around the home and even as gifts. Just go to EdenPureDeals.com and use discount code FADERBOGO. That's FADERBOGO, FADERBOGO. BOGO is buy one, get one free. That's EdenPureDeals.com, discount code FADERBOGO. And as always, shipping is free.
This is Billy Carson, founder and CEO of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv is the fastest growing and one of the most watched networks in the world. And I would like to personally invite you to check out our expanding library of TV, film, lectures, and special presentations. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv has over 6,000 videos covering lost history, health, UFOs, spirituality, and our future. We are committed to our community, and with my personal invitation, you can right now get your own free 30-day membership at ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Your own library of information starts today at ForbiddenKnowledge.tv.
Your 1 million gigawatt paranormal powerhouse, KUNX-DB, VX.
Are you ready to read about true paranormal events? Unex Media publishes nonfiction books about UFOs, ghosts and haunted places, time anomalies, cryptid creatures, and more. Just like KUNX-DB Radio, it's all about unexplained phenomena. Visit www.unxmedia.com to see our list of great book titles by Debbie Ziegelmeyer, Gene Walker, Devin Listrom, Wayne Lawrence, Bill Spicer, and yours truly, Margie Kay. That's unxmedia.com.
Introducing the Game Changer blend from River Moon Coffee that delivers a customized blend made specifically for the Fadernauts. If the game is rigged, change the game. It's a bolder cup with some bite. Game Changer is the coffee of choice for those that prefer an organic dark roast that is slightly lighter and milder, but it's still dark. With wild notes of pecans and chocolate with a rich, balanced, full-bodied cup that is roasted to perfection for a great coffee to start your day, as an after-dinner coffee or anywhere in between. Artisan, small batch roasted to perfection. USDA certified organic, all River Moon coffee is freshly roasted and packaged in the USA. Just go to rivermooncoffee.com or click on the banners over on our site and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. rivermooncoffee.com.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Erica, Brittany, Gabby, and you're listening to JamieChurchRadio.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Welcome back. Well, the good news is I've got one slice of cheesecake left. I'm going down in flames tonight. Going down in flames. Going down in flames. Our guest tonight, we are heading into overtime. Kelly Sullivan Walden. Now we've got a lot of things to try to pack in, and so I want to go down the list. And one of one of the things that I do, and I've done this in public before, presentations, where I've told everybody how I enter my dreams, and the easiest way to do it, especially if I'm feeling a little frustrated, like I've drank too much coffee before bed, that I close my eyes, I picture a house. It's the same house every time. It's a one-story house with a window, and I go and I try to crawl through the window. Ooh. Right, and by the time I get through the window, out. Right,
wow.
I'm out. And I had asked you, I said, would you try that? Did you ever try it, or did you blow out the idea? You didn't do it, did you?
Sorry. Maybe I'll try it tonight.
Yeah,
but
you should. My fear is, Kelly, when I do this publicly, and everybody's closing their eyes, and then next thing you know, everybody's asleep in front of me, and I don't want that. But
they're in some kind of an alpha/theta state, which is a really cool state to be in. It doesn't look exciting with your eyes. It just looks like everybody's checked out, but it's actually a really powerful brain state to be in. But what you've done in that is you've created your own form of self-hypnosis, and everyone can do this. I mean, it's like finding a portal that you choose. I mean, you can make it magical. It can be like in a jungle. It can be in a sacred valley. It could be at the ocean. You could find like an avatar. And I suggest that we all do this, that we imagine some very powerful being that we call in to help us, like a helping spirit. It can be, grandma from the other side, or it could be Jesus or Mohammed, or I don't know, whoever feels like a powerful being. Archangel Michael, a lot of people, that's kind of like the go-to when you can't think of anything else. And then think of also a place that you want to be that represents your dreamscape. It might be magical. It could be a tunnel, whatever it is, but to have like a person and a place that represents deep asleep, and through self-hypnosis, self-suggestion, that could be the very place to do it. And you've just come to this all on your own, Jimmy. You didn't even need me for that.
I did. Okay. Share with us your secret place that you go to. What do you do?
I actually do something that I learned when I'm a hypnotherapist. And when I was in hypnotherapy training, we learned self-hypnosis as a way to be able to get into the alpha and theta state. So really, I picture a staircase that's got 10 steps, and it's beautiful. And I envision my higher self, like my absolutely most awake, enlightened self, walking down the staircase. And each step I take down the staircase, I get into a deeper, more relaxed state. And by the bottom, by the time we get to the bottom of the staircase, I imagine this big fluffy bed that's like down comforter. And then I imagine that I just fall deeply into it. And by the time I hit that, I just go deep asleep. And
I'm going to try that tonight. You climb through the window.
Perfect. We'll trade. Trade self-hypnosis.
I'm going to go into the big fluffy bed.
That's it. I'm going to crawl through a window, and I'll report back after watching Stranger Things and crawling through the window. Both of those things.
Now,
wasn't that a song, Melissa Etheridge?
Actually,
window.
Yeah, might have been. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah,
go through my window.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not going to sing it. That's not my gift.
It's not mine either. So, last month, it was so effective. I swore I'd never do it again. This is the truth. I read something online about listening to rain while you sleep.
Yeah.
So, and we've all heard this, but I had read it. So that night I pulled up on my iPad, thunder and rain, 10 hours for sleep, right? But there was 10-hour video of thunder and rain on everything that I love. I turned out the light, right? I got the thunder. It just started. It's just 10 seconds in. I woke up in the morning in the same position.
Wow.
I didn't move.
Ooh, you're going to have to post that link, Jimmy.
I had drool coming out of my mouth, big wet spot on the I didn't move. I mean, I slept like a rock.
Ooh, I want to try that. I'm always looking for the new thing
It was
that's
too
great.
good. It was too good. It was like heroin. It was
That's
like,
amazing. I
yeah,
think sometimes with those, because I've tried so many of them. So please send me that link. But some of them, it's like rain, and then all of a sudden, kaboom! And it's like it can wake you up, like with the lightning
right,
striking. It's like you need something that's relatively consistent so it becomes white noise.
right,
So
right.
you probably found the perfect track. That's amazing. Ooh, I can't wait to try it.
It was too good. It was too good, man. And
That's
somebody could
great.
have robbed my house and I wouldn't have woken up. I mean, it was like that, man.
That's the goal. You want to have that. And then hopefully you wake up with dreams that you've been able to recall because you went to
Yeah,
sleep naturally.
it was remarkable. Like I said, that was too good. It could have been a house fire. Could have been an earthquake.
Hellfire. Just like your shirt.
And I would have slept right through it. It was, and you sleep really good when you wake up in the same position. The remote on your chest, and you're just like,
Okay, that's a dream. So many people, especially since COVID, there's record numbers of people that are having a difficult time sleeping. It is like it's more of an epidemic than COVID is and was. And so this is great. I mean, to come up with like a list of things that people can do to get a better night's sleep, I think is one of the best things we can do for people. So this thing that you just discovered is great. And obviously not drinking all the caffeine before you go to sleep, but hey, some people, it has the reverse effect. Vitamin B6 and not eating the cheesecake unless it's one tiny little piece right before bed.
What about melatonin?
Oh God, yeah, melatonin's great.
Now,
Yeah.
Small doses, though, right?
Small doses, of course. Yeah, but I would stay away from some of the sleep aids. I mean, if you don't have to, like, use them only in extreme circumstances, like Ambien. I've got nothing against those things, but I've heard so many stories of people that have slept, like, done some sleepwalking
Under the Greyhound bus station.
Oh my God. Or like Ricky Lake, who was married at the time, who went on and she like created a profile online on a dating site and had all kinds of and she was sleeping. Somebody who like hit a bunch of people in her car, and
I
it's
read
just
that.
crazy.
I read that. That wasn't isolated. That was happening a lot. People driving in their cars.
Yeah.
While they're dreaming.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy town to me. Yeah. Okay. What about, and I love this conversation because I am forced, and that is, do you dream in black and white or do you dream in color? I tend to do both, but what does it mean if you have a black and white dream versus, something with full panchromatic resonance and, Panavision?
Right. It's believed that we always dream in color. It's just that sometimes there will be a very vivid color that will show up in our dream that will by contrast make everything else look kind of bland or black and white. But we dream the way we see. However, there was this study that was done that kind of contradicts this. So they said that before the advent of color television, like way back in the olden days when there was just black and white television, that it was clinically proven that people were having more black and white dreams. But there's controversy around that because we see in color with our eyes, and our visual cortex is awake while we sleep, and it kind of projects in the same way. But most people think they dream in black and white, but really they're not. They don't. It's just that when there is a color that does show up, it tends to be so vivid that it causes everything by contrast to seem like it was black and white.
Okay. You know what my predominant color is? This is going to sound weird.
What?
Gold.
Ooh, oh my God. Jeremy Taylor, the late great Jeremy Taylor, he would say that gold in dreams is a very, very spiritual color. It means that you're connecting with your spirit. It's like with the most high frequency thing that you can. Every color has a significance. And when you do remember a color, it tends to really highlight whatever that thing is. If it was a guitar that was gold, if it was a house that was gold, it's like that thing is a message. It's almost like from the gods for you to pay attention to. It's like winning the lottery.
Very, very strange. Okay, like for instance, the shopping mall.
Yeah.
So when I'm in the shopping mall, the walls are like gold leaf.
Oh, wow.
Every day, the floor, everything is kind of got that gold. The atmosphere is gold. It's not a gold object. It's a gold dream.
Wow.
I have this recurring dream of going on a cruise ship, private, and going to another country and climbing these stairs. That ship is gold. My room that I'm in, the bed, the thing, the walls, the gold. So I get to this land, this secret land, the stairs, the thing, the wall, the stone, gold.
Wow.
I dream in gold. I don't dream in black and white. I dream in gold.
So remember in the jet set formula, I talked about the standout symbols. So the color of something would be one of those symbols. And that so it takes it from being an ordinary ship, an ordinary whatever it is, to becoming extraordinary. It's like it becomes like, the fancy word is numinous. It's like of a spiritual nature, of a higher nature. So if you're shopping, which is an interesting thing, because typically shopping in a dream, like in a mall, represents commerce. It represents, often we're shopping for things like clothes, things that are of the ego. But if it's got gold around it, then it kind of feels like I would say it's like you're shopping for, which is a metaphor for being at choice with your spiritual identity. And what are you buying into? Like, what are you believing? What are you putting your energy into? And what are you paying for to get? So it feels like it all of a sudden elevates it from being kind of an ordinary ego level dream to being something on a much higher level.
Yeah, I'm not shopping. I'm lost.
Yeah.
And okay. This is just a quick answer.
Yeah.
Before my mom passed 5 years ago, I dreamt about her all the time, and about all kinds of things, right? Most of them unresolved issues, whatever. So, you have those dreams. Since she has passed, not once, I have tried to dream about her. I can't. And I hear, my relatives visit me in my dreams, not mine, right? And it's been 5 years. I stopped dreaming about my mom. Why is it just because? Is it something simple? She's now passed, and
not necessarily. Yes and no. I mean, so on one level, we have so many dreams. We have 5 to 9 dreams every single night. And most of us, if we're lucky, will remember one of those. So that means that there could be mom coming in every night. It's just that's not the dream that you're remembering. Also, remember, our dreams are symbolic. So somebody can be coming in, just like Brian, that I had the dream about the mosaic with. He didn't show up in the dream, but mosaic showed up in the dream. So that was symbolic, something symbolic that connected to him. So think about a couple of things that make you think of your mom, like apple pie, or like Sunday dinner, or I don't know, first day of school, or like some of your favorite memories. Think about those as symbols. So if those things show up in your dream, you could consider that is your mom communicating to you. Sometimes it's not just literal. And one thing we can do, because I think the people that we're connected to, heart and soul, our family members, I believe that they are part of our lives. And yes, they do move on, but I think they also come back around. And sometimes we can do a very deliberate request that has no strings attached. Before we go to sleep, we can maybe light a candle or have something, a token, like a piece of their jewelry or a photo of them by our bedstand, and we can just simply say, if you're available to, God, I would so love to connect with you in my dreams tonight. And I'll do my part to remember the dream. And if and when you feel like you can, I would love some kind of a visitation, some kind of a message from you, and
I
have
like
it be as simple as that, and just be in a state of gratitude. Sometimes the resistance, the need for it or the desire for it can sometimes be like a resistant energy that pushes it away. In fact, sometimes deceased relatives will show up in the dreams of people in in our circle, but not necessarily us, because there's too much importance that we put on it. But it doesn't mean that they're not around. It doesn't mean they don't love us. It doesn't mean your mom doesn't love you like crazy and isn't trying in some way, shape, or form to stay connected with you. So I think you asking the question, putting it out there with no strings attached, is a wonderful invitation for there to be possibly something that'll come through in the next few nights.
Yeah.
So be attuned to that.
Yeah. I think she, I walk around the house and stuff, drops and hits me in the head all the time. So I
Hello.
think my mom.
That's valid. That's it. I mean, it doesn't have to be an exact dream. It could be a song that comes on the radio. It could be a synchronicity, a bumper sticker we see. So
now, what about, okay, hold on for a second. I want to go back to black and white versus color.
Yeah.
But I do dream in black and white, though. Not everything is gold,
right?
And my black and white, and I'm asking this for the audience because I'm sure this is like a universal thing. I'm not the only one. My black and white stuff is from when I was like 10 years old, 15 years old.
Right.
I don't dream in black and white about stuff today. It's always when I'm young.
Right. Well, that can be, so anything like black and white, those are also important symbols. So if you are having a legitimate black and white dream, it could represent that you're back in time. It could represent even the metaphor of black and white thinking. When we're in our younger days, things were very delineated. This is good, this is bad, this is right, this is wrong, this is us versus them. So there's some of that that's going on. And it could be, and also black and white is devoid of color. So, and color in general tends to represent vibrancy and passion. Black and white could represent, it feels like film noir to me. Like if there's like a detective kind of
sepia tone.
Right. So it could be all of those things. So you ask yourself, what does this mean to me? It's not necessarily what does it mean generically across the board. What does black and white mean to you, Jimmy?
It's the name of my new show.
I thought it was black and blue.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
But I've thought about this a lot. That I have no problems going full color. I mean, too much color, right? That's easy. But the black and white dreams seem to be, well, historical is the right word, but also more serious. Right? There's a more like pay attention here.
Ooh. So this is why it's important to track your own dreams so that you can start to notice the themes and the patterns, because that wouldn't necessarily be across the board for everybody. But if you can tell when it's a black and white dream, you know that it's something to pay attention to and take seriously. It's not frivolous. It's not light and fluffy. It's like, this has got gravitas to it. So, that's a wonderful example of what I was talking about earlier. So good for you.
Now, one last question tonight. Thank you. This was the best show ever. What about deja vu? And before you answer, I feel that I have deja vus all the time. I stop. I enjoy them. I pay attention.
Yes.
But I do, more times than not, feel that the deja vu was also part of a dream. And then we just talked about the premonition aspect of this.
Yeah.
Where, I'm having the deja vu, but I think I dreamed this a few times 5 years ago. Right. And now it's happening in real time, but I'm awake. Right?
Exactly.
Now, what's the deal? Is there a connection?
Yeah, I think it's all of those things. And I think that we need to ask ourselves what it means to us. But from my perspective, on some level, it's sort of like a glitch in the matrix. It's like, whoa, oh, like that. It's not supposed to happen. Like when we're online, plugged in our ordinary consciousness, it's supposed to go a certain way, but then there's this kind of like a flickering, and there's sort of a portal that opens, and all of a sudden we're outside of time. We're out of like our ordinary reality, and we're like, wait, past, present, future, it's bleeding. It's a bleeding of sorts that is like, it blends things. And it's kind of like we tap into dream consciousness while we're awake. It's kind of it's a very special phenomenon. I would say at the very least, it's a moment to ask yourself, like, notice where you're at, notice who you're with, consider it a burning bush of sorts, that you don't have to know exactly why and what it means, but consider that there's importance, consider that it's pointing to something for you to be aware of and awake to. I mean, some people think it's about I can't think of what it's called when you have seizures. But it's not necessarily related to whatever that thing is called that I'm glitching out on. Speaking of glitching, but it's important from my perspective. It's special, just like being lucid. It's like being lucid in a dream. It's like something to pay attention to.
Thank you so much. Now,
You're so welcome.
We just scratched.
Thank you, Jimmy. This was so fun, and the time has flown by. Thank you for having me.
Let's go for another 3 hours. Tell Dana.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do a marathon.
Tell Dana. Listen, I'm a part of your newsletter, and it's fantastic. And I want everybody to go and sign up for that. So please tell them how to do it, because you are always doing stuff. I mean, a couple of times a week, I'm looking at your thing, and you're always doing something great. So how can everybody stay in touch, and how can they sign up for the newsletter?
They can go to my website, kellysullivanwalden.com. And if that's too hard to spell, they can go to ihadthestrangestdream.com and sign up there, and you can get some free dream gifts for me. And my new book is available for pre-order on Amazon or wherever you get books online. It's called A Crisis is a Terrible Thing to Waste.
Love it.
The art of transforming the tragic into magic.
You're the best, Kelly. Give my best to Dana and tell him I said yo.
I will. Big hug to you, Jimmy Church.
Okay.
I love you. You're the best.
I love you more.
I love you more. I love you more.
Crawl through the window tonight.
I'm going to. You go down the stairs.
I'm going down the stairs.
Eat some peanut butter on top of your cheesecake.
Kelly Sullivan Walden. Thank you so much, Kelly. Enjoy your night and go dream.
Dreams.
I'll talk to you.
Bye.
Bye. What a perfect show. That is a perfect show right there. Kelly Sullivan Walden. And I'm serious. I think we need to do that once a month. Just come in and lay it all out. What a great show. I want to remind everybody, tomorrow is Fader night. It's open lines all night long. Your calls, your conversation. You can go right now over to KellySullivanWalden.com. It's easy. KellySullivanWalden.com. The links are below. Her newsletter is fantastic. So go and sign up for that. And there you go. Fade to Black is produced by Hilton J. Palm, Renee, Dennis, and Kevin. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vito, the voice, and Mark D. Kovar. Webmaster is Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intros, SpaceboyMusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network. And this broadcast is owned and copyrighted 2022 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network Inc. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black of the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Until tomorrow night, Fader night, open lines all night long. I want everybody to be safe. Go Beckley Tappy.